Yeah,
Oh
live
yeah,
on Twitch.tv.
live on Twitch.tv. Finn_Faye. Oh my
Getting
god,
railed?
he just had a massive ball thrown in his face. Oh
It's okay, at least he hasn't had any men inside of him yet. I hear that gets you banned on Twitch. Not that I'd know
yeah,
or anything.
giant penises.
I'm like a
Hello
good
Twitch.
boy. Hi, Twitch. Hey.
Hi.
So, I saw ages ago, right? I saw this channel where basically like someone had like a normal looking like live 2D model,
Hmm.
but then they had a fucking like the Monkey D. Luffy hat from that anime,
Yeah.
and I'll like they had the scar on the chest, and like basically they had so many identifying features that just said we've retextured Luffy, and it's just like, how could you do this?
Quite
Like, how
easily.
getting away
Which
with
is
it
the problem.
specifically? Like, it's one of the things I've never understood is people using like essentially copyrighted content for their stuff.
So I think
Like,
that one of the big things is that Japan isn't great with its copyright stuff. If it finds out you're using it, it comes down hard, but it only really seems to pay attention to stuff in Japanese internet space.
mhm.
They don't often look at anything. It's the reason why so many anime OSTs are on YouTube without being claimed, because the companies just don't look. They don't think to use any of the things that are over here on YouTube because they have their own versions that are just in Japanese and are just for a Japanese audience, which is where they assume everything will be uploaded to.
It's like I support that certain things in the public domain should be allowed. Like some of the shit that you see like coming out of public domain is better than anything that happened with property. I've seen people like write Star Wars better than the new fucking Star Wars is.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I think Disney got rid of all of the expanded universe, and not just because of royalties, because I think that's also a big part. It's because a lot of them were like really held up by fans as being amazing content, and they did not want to be overshadowed. So
Mhm.
they said it all doesn't. It's all non-canonized now.
Yeah, that was the thing. For new movies came out, and one of the new directors was like, "Hey Disney, my new movie isn't going to get so much stuff because like a bunch of weird losers on the internet are holding all of this stuff up. Can you just say that none of this is canon?" And they're like, "You're the director, you say it."
And the best part was one of them had the balls to say there was no actual content for them to use as source material. And it's like, look at these like 500 to 1,000 books that people have written about Star Wars that you just
Mhm.
decanonized, and then tell me again how there was no source material for you to make a film of.
I heard, you know how Hollywood's basically nepotism, right?
Yeah.
So I heard, one of the, what was it? The son of like some sort of big shot director or something had, what's the best way of putting this? He wrote a Star Wars book, right?
Hmm.
The son of this big shot director did. And, it was so shit, and the only reason it got published or he was allowed to write it was just nepotism as well. That's why I don't trust like a lot of big Hollywood productions because it's all like who you know and stuff. Hi, Kate. And like Star Wars is all about that these days. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I feel I was having this conversation with my mom earlier about how Disney had just kind of like run out of things to milk for money, so they took Star Wars and Marvel. Because it used
They
to be
don't
before.
have. any new talent.
Before streaming was a thing, I mean, this might be before your time, but what Disney used to do to make their money was every couple of years they would make a new remaster of all of the classics.
George
So
Lucas's fucking McClunky, famous example.
Well, no, this wasn't George Lucas. This was Disney. So this was like
right.
all of their animated
Yeah.
films. So they had the original releases back God knows when, and then every couple of years they would re-release the Disney classics like Disney's Robin Hood, Lion King, Cinderella, and all these, and they would just remaster them in air quotes, or put them on just a different format. There was like 3 or 4 versions of it on VHS. There were several versions of it on DVD, and there've been several versions on Blu-ray. And that was how Disney milked the franchises, because they're like, well, we don't need to do anything because we can just keep reselling them the same thing. Then streaming turned up, and people stopped buying as many DVDs and Blu-rays, so they couldn't do that anymore. And so they started just remaking their stuff in live action. Because it make money again, they have a new version once more, they can sell off, and then they can do another version of it in a couple of years' time that they say, oh, we've redone the audio, we've remastered it, or we've re-released it with better graphics in 3D and all this shit. So they just had to change their tactics when streaming services turned up because they weren't making any money anymore.
Here's the thing, I think they're doing the exact same shit right now again. Like, they don't have any good new ideas, so they keep remaking their old shit again.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, because they used to just re-release their old stuff, because they could. But when it got to a certain point with streaming services where everyone has access to just go on to as well, before this it was like Amazon, and just like buy Disney Mulan on Amazon. That's it. They've got it now. They didn't have to care. They could see it anywhere they wanted. They'd never lose the disc because there wasn't one. And Disney then realised, oh shit, we can't keep reselling them new discs.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to just have to outright remake them. The Jungle Book was the first one they did, which was okay.
I remember. Yeah.
It was because it was like an actual kid, as far as I remember, and then CG animals, like The Life of Pi.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do too bad. It worked well. And then they made The Lion King, which was the shittest thing they ever did, because it was rubbish. If you haven't ever watched it, go look up.
I watched a good enough review.
Yeah, the Your Movie Sucks breakdown of like God knows how many hours.
Hey, no, the YMS breakdown of part 1.
Yeah, part 1 YMS breakdown where he spends like 2 hours breaking down just like the first half an hour basically of how shit this is.
I like how even Hans Zimmer is just like a fucking walking corpse in the movie. He's like, I remastered all of my music, and it's just like the music is just shit.
Yeah.
Hans fucking Zimmer.
And he's just like, at one point, it's like, oh yeah, the music is exactly how I wanted it. Cut to 2 years later when they release a new CD. It's like, they gave me a chance to redo it how I really wanted it to be. It's like, no. 2 years ago, you said it was perfect. You said you did it exactly how you wanted.
Hans, how much are they paying you, Hans?
How much are they paying you to get more Disney money?
You better shut the fuck up, Hans. You want to see your kids again, don't you?
I love that. That's how Mickey has become.
He is just a little fucking like, I'll kill your family, John.
The best one I've seen is there's someone on YouTube, not a big YouTuber called Vox's Productions, and he uses a puppet called Professor Tosspot as the main character who does all the reviews. Mm-hmm. But he has also made other puppets, including the mouse, who basically, after Tosspot reviewed the Star Wars films,
he got DMCA'd?
No, he got knocked unconscious and then was taken to a dungeon and strapped up, and Mickey turns up and says, "Release the Gimp!" And there's a Gimp puppet And it basically just goes into the fact that Disney does not want this stuff out, so they just carted Tosspot to the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And the way
it's so funny taking the piss out of Disney.
I know, it's just so much. It's so easy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They just made it so easy for us to take the piss out of them. I mean, I wanted to use one of Professor Tosspot's voice clips of Mickey shouting, "Money, money! Oh my god, I'm going to come!" I wanted to use that as my subscriber noise.
You still can, right?
Oh, you still can. It's just I need to work out a way of actually getting it off the videos, because audio software is a pain to sort of take stuff out.
You call that shit YouTubeVideoDownload.com.
Oh no, I downloaded the video, but it's trying to get it into certain programs that will actually allow you to strip the audio out to use it rather than mess around. Of course, if I did do that, I need to make sure I credit him in my my info.
You need to put up the mouse defenses too.
No, I don't care about the mouse defenses because it's a puppet and it's parody, so fuck him.
No, I mean you gotta set mouse traps just in case.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you need to catch Reggie.
I heard he likes men, really likes men.
What about men?
Really likes men.
What about them?
I don't know.
Interesting. This is going to deem some further research.
Yeah,
Chat, strap in. We're going to Google Reggie the Mouse. Narrator. For obvious reasons, he was like...
Obvious reasons, he did this off-stream later on.
You know what the worst thing Disney ever produced was? I think this was Disney. I might be wrong, actually. I might be talking out of my ass right now and blaming the wrong thing.
Go on.
It was The Greatest Showman, Disney.
I don't actually know. All I know is that my little brother fucking loved that thing.
Why did kids love that shit? I have the answer. You ready?
Well, my little brother has Down syndrome, so that could be part of it.
Nah, because my little sister, she fucking loved it too, and I hated it because I would be stuck in the car with my dad driving, and you don't notice these things when you're a kid, but when you're older, especially, my dad couldn't drive, to save our lives. So anytime we got into a car with him, he'd be sat there risking our lives. He used to get mad at me when I told him Dad, you've left the indicator on. It's just there making a clicking noise and he's just ignoring it. I'm just Dad, the indicator's on. So I just got into a habit eventually of just flicking it off again. That's neither here nor there. The point is, me and my little sister would be in the car with him, and at some point in time, they just put on... They got the fucking Greatest Showman soundtrack. And then you're stuck in a fucking car with your stepmother who is singing along to encourage your little sister to sing along to. And the fucking soundtrack, which is just 90% screaming. It's screaming. It is screaming. It's got that new age scream singing to it. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. I checked Wikipedia though. It was 20th Century Fox, not Disney.
20th Century Fox can burn in a fucking fire for that one.
Although if 20th Century Fox is owned by Fox, Fox I think is also owned by Disney, so...
That gave me headaches for nights. You know what the second headache bringer was? The Moana soundtrack.
I didn't mind the Moana soundtrack.
I didn't mind the Moana soundtrack, but it again, when my little sister started singing it really loudly.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a problem.
It was ear-splitting, and you know when she'd do it as well? like my stepmom and her got into this ritual of like to put her to sleep at night. She just starts singing the soundtrack with her.
Oh,
It was not a great time.
yeah. I can
Like by the time I stopped living with them, they were then screaming the fucking Rag and Bone Man. What was it? I'm Only Human. I don't even know where that one came into kids' media from.
I mean, I do own the Moana soundtrack because that's one of the few things that Disney have released within the past 10 years that I didn't hate.
Oh, I'm sure it was a fine movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I was one of 2 people in the cinema that was watching it at the time. Both of us were in our 30s.
Did you look over at each other and be like, Texas, huh? Texas?
No, I just looked down, so I'm glad I'm not the only person. There was no children in the theatre whatsoever because it was 12 o'clock in the middle of the day on a school day. There was just 2 adults watching Moana.
Why do they air that shit at midday on kids' days off? Kids' days at school?
Because they're stupid and they think that people are going to just go anyway.
And then they're going to complain later, why is cinema dying, guys?
Yeah.
My brother in Christ, you're killing it. Stop being stupid.
My brother in Christ, it's because the popcorn has a markup of 2,500%.
My brother in Christ, I came here to blow a guy.
It was the only quiet, dark place for miles around. Shut up, leave us alone. We paid for the tickets, now let me have
It's not quiet anymore. Oh!
See, that's where you have to time them to finish at just the right moments of the songs. Like when she screams, I am Moana. Well, she's screaming Moana at one point, yeah.
I don't remember.
It's one of the songs.
You know what the biggest pop culture nightmare was back in the day? You're going to agree with me on this one. This was the pop culture nightmare of its time. Do I need to say it? No, that was a pop culture nightmare. But when I say it, it's going to click in your head. You're going to have been somewhere in your life, and you're going to have realized, God, I wish this would fuck off. Frozen.
Yeah.
It had so much time in the light.
And it was an okay film. The sound.
It was only okay.
Yeah, it was just okay.
But they fucking sucked its dick.
Yeah, I think that the problem is that they it's essentially the exact same story as the Snow Queen. The only difference is instead of it being a boy that saves her, it was her sister.
Yeah, I respect.
And they met, which is brilliant, to do that. But the problem is that they basically built their entire thing around that.
Yeah.
And everyone was so into that idea that they kind of ignored the fact that the movie was just mid.
Hydrate and posture check. Don't worry, guys. It's all good.
Yeah,
And stretch.
You can hear the ice moving in the Sheepa cup.
It's not ice. That's the metal straw.
Oh yeah, you have the metal straws. I forgot about that because you aren't immoral enough to try killing the turtles like the rest of us.
I don't even like turtles.
I don't use straws, so I can't really say that. But
I don't like turtles. I just like sippy straws.
Honestly, if there is a part of me saying that now that actually wants to get a silly straw, the ones that are really curly.
Don't get a really curly one. They're so hard to wash out.
Oh, I know that. They're not that hard to wash out. You just have to fill them with water and just suck water up and blow the water out, and boom, they've been washed out.
I'm not putting my lips up against a dirty straw.
I mean, the straw's just had the liquid in that you've been sucking, so I don't know how dirty it is that you're... Just put it in some clean water and suck the water up, and then just
It's a dirty straw because I left it in the sink.
Well, don't leave it in the sink.
Anyway, I might have gum disease.
No, that's normal. English.
What's I'm the girl play head to work, see fucking Game of Gods. Them amazing wooga booga anga bunga umga. I love you, Aggie.
Bunga droop snoot.
You go into a cave and you just see a painting of a Droop Snoot.
Oh, that. Before I die, make sure that I have found a solitary cave in the
Cheery.
middle of nowhere that I can put the. Are we putting that in this game?
Cheery, can we have a bird that Snoot droops? Ooh, you know what would be better? Some form of, like, vole creature.
Oh, good lord.
It's Medish Maroni.
That is a silly idea. I was just going to say that, you know, before I die, make sure that I can find a cave and I just like finger paint a Droop Snoot onto the cave in like ancient paint just to confuse the future archaeologists that find it.
No, they're gonna be really excited at first, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck, this was some fucking asshole recently."
They'd be like, "Oh my god, in ancient times they had Concords. No wonder they died out because they were like 10,000 years old. They must have been really old technology."
The Snoot seems to have drooped. So what do you mean to tell me, sir? Is it the Snoot? For Droop? Yeah, the Snoot Droop.
Drooped.
Fascinating. So I really like Columbo.
Columbo is an amazing thing. It's timeless.
I recently heard about Copaganda, right? Which is essentially media that portrays cops as like being like the morally correct choice.
Oh yeah, like pretty much every single cop show ever.
Yeah. Now, I saw under this thread, like, because I had to read it, like, hey, what's Copaganda? This is a new word to me. Oh, this strikes me as something that's definitely a thing. Yeah. I'll fucking trust cops. And I'm reading through the thread, and someone says, yeah, stuff like Columbo, and I'm like, you did not watch Columbo. Columbo is not Copaganda.
Columbo didn't seem to give a shit about the actual police.
No, it was just Detective Columbo. He's a little Sherlock figure.
Yeah, he was just a modern Sherlock who they just made him find out really weird things, and he usually like seemed to not give a shit about the real cops. He used to not really deem
all of the other cops bullied him.
Yeah, all the other cops, but
every time he comes to a crime scene, it's like, excuse me, sir, you can't park here. He's like, oh, I'm with the police. And they're like, oh, we thought you were just some homeless dude.
I mean, there was that one that I think we watched it in the Discord where he got given someone to ride along with him who was an actual police person. And everything that Columbo was doing, he was just saying, no, I don't do it that way because that's stupid. And so the other police guy was trying to do it by the book, and Columbo was just doing Columbo. And Columbo.
See, the thing about Columbo is that when he rocks up to a crime scene, right, he knows who the killer is.
Yeah, he already knows. He just looks at the people standing there. It's like, yeah, I know it's you. I know full well it's you, but I'm not going to say that yet.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is that one?
And then for the next 40 minutes of the TV
he's harassing them.
He's harassing them because he's already found the evidence.
Guys, if you've not watched Columbo yet, it is a timeless show. He rocks up to like a crime scene and he's like, okay, I basically know who the killer is already. Like he always knows. It's not that he knows, it's like narratively it seems like he knows. I think he just gets lucky every time. But there's also the possibility he really does know.
I mean, there's that one that we watched where it was the dude that ended up... I think they tried to fake a death, and then the uncle then ended up killing the guy that they tried to fake the death of.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing, because at first you think, they're trying to get away with it, it's fine, they're both going to get caught, but then one of them gets killed, and it's just the uncle left over. And previously it said, oh yeah, I did used to have a pistol, but it was stolen like months ago. And it's like, oh, Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. And cut about 10 minutes later, when it's finally time to confront, it was like, yeah, we've checked the 3 bullets that we know got fired, and we've matched them to a gun. The 4th bullet, however, also matched. And I was like, what 4th bullet? Like, oh, you mentioned that you'd accidentally shot a pot with your pistol a few months back before it got stolen. Well, I have actually been digging through the pot and I found the bullet and sent it off to the lab. And yeah, we found out it was your gun that shot this guy. So it was you that had it. It's like, why the fuck were you here?
Because he knows. He has to know.
And the best thing was, his excuse for being there was his wife.
My wife really likes plants.
and he wanted to get her an orchid. And so for 10 minutes he was talking about orchids to this guy, and then dropped it, oh, by the way, we've had the results for the 4th bullet. At which point the other guy's like, huh? What? And he's just like blindsides the fucker after talking about orchids for 10 minutes.
It's like psychological torture.
Because
it's like if Sherlock Holmes was an asshole.
Because by that time, after talking about plants for so long, it was obvious that this one guy was just like, "Oh, please just fucking leave." It's like 10 p.m. I want to
Detective,
go to
can
bed,
you please leave?
Away. And then, as he's walking out, just one more thing.
Oh wow! Just one more thing.
I would love to see
Columbo is my favorite.
There must exist on YouTube a compilation of every single one more thing from Columbo.
I bought an entire series of that stuff. I want to watch more episodes.
Yes, because it is glorious.
My way. I want to talk about Columbo. Oh, I thought you were doing the Borat reference. No, that is definitely a Columbo reference. Like, every encounter he's ever in, he's like, see, my wife was telling me. Like, we never meet Columbo's wife.
We don't even know if he actually has one.
He definitely does. I remember this.
Because she could well be fake, and we would never know with how good of a detective he is. It could all be an elaborate lie.
My wife's always going on about orchids and... There's one episode with Columbo's wife. I want to keep an eye out for that one.
Before you find out it wasn't Columbo's wife, it was Columbo in a dress. And he's that good, you couldn't tell. They were both in the same room at the same time and you couldn't tell. He just kept like walking around a corner and coming back, and it was like, oh, it's Columbo's wife's back. Oh, okay. Disappears around the corner. Oh, Columbo's back. Oh, that's interesting. Never seen them at the same time, but it's amazing.
Sending you to the Columbo dimension. I love all of the Columbo edits on YouTube too. Like, my generation has found that show and they're like, I see, just one more thing. Can we watch... Hang on, I need to watch a Columbo thing live right now.
So there used to be quite a lot of, like, those kind of detective shows back when I was... Just before I was growing up, and also whilst I was growing up. Things like, Murder, She Wrote was a big thing on, like, midday TV, which was just a random writer woman, like an old lady who wrote things, who just for some reason always ended up getting embroiled in murder situations.
She definitely did some of them.
Yeah, she probably would end up doing some of them, but it's just weird how she always, like, someone involved with the murder knew her and would say, oh, she's helped before, she can help now.
Chirioni, this is the best example I can send to, like, someone in my generation of what is Columbo.
Oh, one more thing, sir. You told me you couldn't possibly have been at the crime scene at that time on account of your alibi. That being that you were at home playing your PlayStation 3. Now, forgive me, but if that's true, I just gotta ask, how could you have been playing your PS3 if the PS3 has no games?
Why, Lieutenant, the PS3 is backwards compatible with many PS2 games. I was simply playing one of my many PS2 games at the time of the murder.
It's like the kills are really good in this show.
Kingdom Hearts. I'd be happy to show you my save file if it would put your mind at ease.
Ah, gee. Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, that one's a classic. One of the best ones, even. My wife loves that little Sora guy. No, I agree. You're right, sir. I should have thought of that. Well, I'll get out of your head, then. Oh, one more thing. I just remembered something you might find a little interesting. See, you've got one of those black models with the top-loading tray, and those PS3 models are backwards compatible, but only for PS1 games. Kingdom Hearts wasn't on the PS1, though, was it?
Oh. Yes, how very observant of you.
It's so
Lieutenant.
stupid.
Well, I suppose I must have been mistaken. My memory of that dreadful night, it's all jumbled, you see. It must have been one of my other games from my PS1 library. Spyro, perhaps, or... Yes, now I remember. It was Final Fantasy VII. The character of Cloud is in both that game and in Kingdom Hearts. I must have simply gotten my wires crossed. How silly of me.
Ah, all right, then. That explains it. Well, have a good night, then. Oh, I figure I ought to let you know. We did have your memory card searched. We didn't see Final Fantasy VII on there. Must have been a glitch or something. Might want to get that checked.
Now see here, Columbo. Perhaps if you were spending more time looking for actual clues rather than harping on my gaming habits, you might have caught the real killer by now. If you have anything more to say to me, you can kindly say it to my lawyer. So, if you'll excuse me, I have a Twitch stream scheduled for noon, and I do not
Oh, fuck,
dare
he's
to
me.
keep my followers waiting. Good day, sir.
Certainly, sir. I'll be out of your way now. Oh, gee, gosh, I nearly forgot. I figured I'd mention. We did get one lead. On the murder, sir? We determined from Mr. Elbertson's autopsy that he was repeatedly beaten in the back of the head with a small, blunt object. No bigger than about 157 millimeters long ways. Likely a, analog gamepad of some kind. DualShock, that's what the lab boys told me. You got any idea what sort of console uses those? I only ask because you seem to know about these sort of things. What with you being, well, being a gamer.
This is every Columbo episode ever. This is every episode of Columbo.
And it's amazing because it always throws you off what he's actually going to be pulling out of his ass.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you're like, oh my god, they did have references to that early on. They wrote this properly. Oh my god. A well-written show.
We can have those.
You
You
can
used to watch
have them.
Columbo with your grandpa? That sounds wholesome. My
Some of
grandpa
the
always
old-
used to watch fucking NCIS. It was trash.
Some of the old stuff was really good. I remember that I used to watch the old Addams Family and the Monsters
Mm-hmm.
on my great nan's TV, because we used to visit my great nan on a Saturday every week, and she had this old, big, like beefy CRT TV, and the only thing on TV on a Saturday afternoon was just old fucking shows, which was like
Yeah.
the black and white Addams Family and the Monsters, which was just a weird sitcom where all of the characters in this one family were monsters. Like the dad was Frankenstein's monster, the wife was like the bride of Dracula, even though she was married to the Frankenstein monster, and it was just all a bunch of random monsters, and they were just trying to act normally as a family. And it was like the weird shit that was happening when people tried to turn up and just saw this really weird gothic house full of monsters.
I got coming in confirmed reports that NCIS is not trash.
Oh, I don't mean to be the person to say this, but kind of is.
It sure was when I watched it. It was mind-meltingly boring for me.
Cause wasn't that one CSI was good, but what if on a boat? Because it was the
I hate
Navy
to say you're
one.
right.
It was the Navy one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
they
we
only
all
do
know
Navy crimes.
Yeah, we all know the Navy crimes are we've run out of lube in the poop deck, sir.
No, it's usually like they I think it's usually like, this guy's on shore leave and he's done a crime or something. Anyway, my granddad used to watch it because he was in the Navy. And Fun fact, my great-granddad died in the Navy by falling off the boat.
That's definitely one way to go.
Do you know what he fell off the boat onto?
Another boat.
The same boat. He fell down one of the top decks and just died instantly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's such a fucking sheeper family way of going out, though. Like, you can tell me and that guy were related. I would have done the exact same shit. Mm. So I got a shitty, like, attitude when it comes to the army. Not like in general, like, being a part of the army, but like, if I was in the army. Like, when it comes to like any decision that I could make on the front line, my brain always goes to kamikaze. Right? So like,
Yeah.
if I'm in a tank and I see an enemy tank facing me down, I hit the gas and I ram that tank. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a truck and we start getting shot at, I run the truck through the wall. You know, like if I'm in a plane and I see another plane like dogfighting me, I try and crash into it.
Jump scare. Howdy.
Jump scare. Ah! Ah! Ow!
Howdy.
Ooh.
Howdy. Let me pull up a stream chat so I can be part of the community.
Unity.
Come.
Unity.
Come.
Come. You bitch!
Why can't I have cum on my Subway sandwich?
Al.
Yeah, actually, what's been going on? I missed
I
yesterday.
have gum disease.
Oh, yeah, same probably. I just don't go to the dentist so they can't diagnose me with it.
Yeah. Same.
See, like I'm trying to deal with it at the minute. Not really sure how. I've never had this. So we're getting like this mouthwash stuff that's supposed to help. It's like I haven't been able to eat an apple in weeks, and it's a shame because I really like apples.
Yeah.
Anyway, Al, we wrote up some stuff for the Barbarian run. I think I started writing up the warrior and not warrior, the fighter, and then I had like one of the biggest fucking grades I think I've ever experienced. So I like stopped doing boring shit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's all in the sheets folders.
Nice. Resource files. Classes. Races. Magic. Any other files I should know?
Magic.
It was magic.
But how,
I still remember Finn's
how did it happen?
like FBI moment.
But how did any of this happen? It's magic.
Why is it not letting me watch the first stream? They're stuck loading.
Oh, it's still blue, huh? It happens on Discord.
It's blue.
Yeah,
There we go.
Oh my
I can't believe
god!
Sheeper still made date. What a tough life. You two were dating. Aww. Ba, 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 ba.
That is how.
And then they just fucked.
I mean, how do you know it was Elle that was the date and not me?
Because I was playing Diablo with the Beanie.
Oh my god, you're playing Diablo with Beanie.
Yeah,
That
Diablo.
just sounds terrible.
No, it's fun. Then Eggs Beanie's computer decides to cock block me.
Cock.
Well,
Nom, nom,
fine.
nom, nom, nom.
If you don't want to date me, Ace, I'll just date Sheeper. I'll take your sloppy sack. I mean, what?
Nom, nom, nom. I'm not sloppy.
Are you? I'm sloppy. I'm not. Okay. I like
I
the
make
land
love
detail.
dry, baby. Like the land detail.
Yeah, I like
Which
it.
one?
All of it. The one that you're working on. The one that's probably have more work done on it.
I must keep working.
Sucks. Work.
You're very sloppy, Ace. You promised you'd never tell anyone. He's such a fucking harlot. I hate him.
Oh yeah, that was something else we did yesterday. We created the best race in any tabletop RPG ever.
What?
Oh yeah, the broccoli man.
Yeah, the Broccolens.
Broccolians. Did
That-
you
that-
add Mothman like I said? I said there should be Mothman.
We haven't yet, but for some reason,
Or can we keep Mothman as a DLC race?
We can
Well,
get them
I
as a
was-
default race.
yeah,
Actually, maybe we could do them as a fantastical horrors race,
Mhm.
like expansion. I don't know. I just like the idea that most of the starting races are all crazy shit. Like you got human, that's normal, and you've got the croc men, huh?
But human as a
Broccoli
DLC.
men, huh?
Snake man.
I just like
Drinking
that-
up. I did get paid.
I just like the fact that it started out. You were like, "Can you draw me an ent?" And so I drew a really shitty ent in the corner of my canvas, and then we both like, "Oh my god, it looks like broccoli."
I
And then
love you,
both of
Shmeesh. Have nice
both of
food.
us at the same sort of moment was like, just what if we actually had broccoli as a race?
Yeah, they're 2 foot tall.
Not even that. They were like 6 inches tall. They were tiny little things. And they
Yeah.
were their campaign would entail fighting rats as their major things. So all the small creatures of the forest would be nemesis to the broccoli men.
Mm-hmm.
But things like the long legs would never dare to touch them because they're too small and they're not that edible. Because who wants to eat broccoli?
It's not meat. Long legs can't eat it.
Yeah.
Trying a new style for my Dune textures. You guys think the Dune MMO is going to be good?
So I'm gonna.
Oh, you're going to support your friend?
Yes. 1 second. I have to find him in my Discord.
I always feel really bad, doing emergency comms. I know it helps out the artist, but I always feel bad doing it because I feel like I'm taking advantage of someone,
Yeah, it's like you're.
I'm not saying that's what you're doing now. I'm not saying that's what you're doing at all.
Yeah.
But, I feel personally like that's what I'm doing.
Well,
I
I
don't know,
also
I've-
retweet all their stuff and make sure to spread it.
Yeah. Hit und weit the Fluffy Gang. Hi, Snails. Hi, Snails.
Knowles.
Snails. I'm going to have a snail race. I don't think I'm going to add one yet.
You see,
I've-
we could have.
We could have a
could
race for every
turtles.
fucking creature in the animal kingdom, but then it wouldn't be special.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
my big question is, what happened to the other 93? Did they get eaten by the French?
See the new Twitch TOS? Yeah. It's something about guidelines on advertising your content for sponsorships and stuff.
Which is fine because I don't get sponsorships.
Yeah. It didn't look unreasonable to me. You're still allowed to promote yourself, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tools still left to do all the things that you want with that stuff, it looks. Can't run baked in ads and sponsors, which in theory completely ruins esports on the platform. Oh man, I hate esports.
Yeah, but the problem is that a lot of people watch Twitch for esports.
Twitch aren't gonna like take down our own esports channels, they're fine.
Oh wow, branded content on Twitch is not wearing your favorite t-shirt that happens to feature a brand or product. So if I was on stream wearing my favorite t-shirt, my only t-shirt, which is the one that has Washipa on the front.
I'm your only t-shirt?
Yeah, all the other ones I threw away because they didn't fit me anymore. So you are my only t-shirt.
Aww. I'll be squishing them cherry titties. Hubba hubba.
Which of course does by default mean you are my favourite t-shirt.
You hear that, El?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the favorite t-shirt. Yeah, I've hated esports ever since my time playing League back in the day. I shouldn't state that it's cathartic for me seeing esports taking an L. I don't usually like to shit on people's parades, but my League of Legends time fucked me up as a kid. Most worrying impact would be the Smash community. All grassroots, no official backing. Always been able to exist thanks to sponsors. I mean, hey, you can still put up sponsors all over the place in other like tabs and stuff. By the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through it now, and some of it is just.
There's plenty of like panels and stuff.
Yeah, one of them is just make sure you've clicked the fact you have branded content on Stream Info, which is fine because that's the thing you normally have to do anyway. Which just puts a tiny little thing up in the top corner, like YouTube has, that says has paid promotion in it, which is fine, makes sense. Formats permitted, branded panels on channel page, yeah, that's fine. Showcasing products in your stream background, fine. So Papa Meat can still have his Bad Dragon dildos in on front of his camera if he ever streams. Including links to other sites to promote stuff, that's fine. Discussing or endorsing or doing unboxing is fine. Playing sponsored games is fine. Formats permitted with limitation. Logos on the screen, they're not allowed. On-stream brand overlays are limited to 3% of screen size.
I can see a lot of people who are going to start complaining about how like this is like Twitch's way of like stopping creators from making a living. I don't really think it is.
Because honestly, the only thing that I'm seeing with this is because a lot of the sponsorships that I've seen, most of the time it's just you talk about the product for a bit and that's it. The only things that I've seen that say about the sponsored like branding, like the branded overlays, is the ones you get through Stream Elements. Because nearly every single one says you have to have, you need to stream the game with our overlay, which is probably going to, nearly every single one of those is probably not going to fit with the new one, the new Twitch terms, because a lot of them are going to be more than 3% of the screen size.
Yeah.
Which basically means that they've now fucked up the Stream Elements commands for the bot. They've messed up the Stream Elements alerts, as witnessed by your V siblings stream earlier, where they just stopped working for some reason. And now they've also messed with Stream Elements' sponsors and sponsorship opportunities. It almost seems like they're trying to ruin Stream Elements.
I mean, hey, it's none of my business as long as I can keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
I just keep my head down and ignore it.
Because all they did, all the stuff they stole off OBS.
No, that's Streamlabs.
Yeah, that's Streamlabs.
No, Streamlabs. Okay. Oh, Streamlabs. Okay.
Yes,
yeah, Streamlabs.
It's not within the exclamation mark shout out that stopped working. Let's see. Formats limited or not allowed. Having burned in video ads.
See, here's what I think about this, right?
Own ads.
Something that's still allowed is to have like advert to like panels. Panels are really prominent on the page.
Yeah,
You know?
and the panels are still there when you are not online.
Exactly. So it's like, if anything, I think advertisers are just going to have to adapt to the idea that like they're going to belong in the panels now,
Yeah.
and like maybe they could also like pay creators fairly. Like, let's be honest, there's not an advert out there that fucking cares about its creators.
Mm. Which is why they barely give any money half the time.
I remember someone had to like fight Manscaped tooth and claw just to get paid a while back. Yeah, I probably should like update like the people I know about that news. But yeah, I can see a lot of like the reactionary people I know being like, "This is the end of Twitch. I'm moving platforms," and then like not moving platforms.
Again, the same thing happens like once a month at this point.
I know a lot of like very reactionary people who don't actually react to stuff. Like the Fine Bro.
They just react to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
This channel has now been DMCA'd by the Fine Bros.
Yeah, so going by this, you can't insert your own burned-in ad. So you can't like have an ad that's in your own stream that is not played. So you can't like pre-record an ad for something and then play that on your stream as a piece of your content because it's not going through Twitch. So Twitch don't get a cut from it essentially, which is probably why they want to stop that happening.
Fair enough, I guess.
Burned in display ads, again, it's going to be cutting Twitch out of the loop. Twitch would get no money from it. Burned in audio ads, again, Twitch would get no money from it because it's you directly streaming the content. It's not going through their ad services.
I don't want to sound like a bootlicker, but like they provide me a great opportunity, so I don't really care about a lot of what they do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this hurts some people.
It's like they take a cut to keep the fucking servers running. Twitch,
like they have to host a lot of like very high like hour content on their platform and also keep a live service going. And they've also got like really good moderation, I think, in some places. Mm-hmm. Like accounts that do harassment, they get banned, unlike Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, there've been some people that I've reported for one thing, and then within a couple of hours I've had an email saying they've been banned. And we go and look and they're like, oh my god, it does say the account has gone. It's like, that was fucking quick.
Like, that's the Twitch that I like, and like, I don't mind them taking 50% of my revenue from some things. I don't mind them like saying rules around like nudity and stuff. Hey, it's their site; they can be comfortable with whatever they want. Just don't be hypocritical. Yeah. I don't mind them like saying how I cannot run sponsors on my content. Like, again,
they're essentially
using their site for like sponsorships. Yeah,
they're trying to cover themselves. So they're basically like, yeah, you can do sponsorships, but don't cut us out. Which is fair enough.
It's their platform.
It's their platform. And all doing these built-in ones, you're essentially skirting around it so that they don't get paid for providing you the service.
I feel like any number of people can call me like a bootlicker for this take. I just don't mind what Twitch does.
I mean, just think about it.
At this point, I'm kind of just numb to everything. Like, there's always going to be like a bigger fish.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about how much content they're actually having to save. Just say Sheepa streams. They save normally 2 months worth of VODs. So if Sheepa streams every day on his current trajectory of doing 10 to 12 hours a day, and he didn't already have purchased Turbo, which gives an extra like 30 days of
60.
Holding the, was it an extra 60? So 100. So basically two extra months of holding the VODs. So 4 months of VODs being held, because normally it's just the 2, at 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a lot of fucking content that's been stored on their server hard drives. And that's just for one streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need some money to run stuff. And as far as I remember, Twitch doesn't actually make any fucking profit anyway, because it's the rest of Amazon that's holding it up. It's just that they know it's a big platform that they can use for stuff.
It's a good like marketing platform for them.
Yeah. They can get a lot of adverts out on it because there's a lot of content watched.
Yeah, like how
I
many
remember
Amazon
with fucking
adverts?
like the fucking like people were starting to like take tags, like they were like, oh, leatherworking, I believe there was like woodworking VTuber, and they just like XQC stream. And that was weird, but it's like at this point, like I don't care about it anymore because nothing gets done or changes. So
Yeah.
it's going to slowly get worse and worse.
You mean Tushi still has XQC on their tags, don't they?
Nice.
Because it's just like, well, if XQC can use VTube as a tag, then the VTubers can use XQC as a tag.
Mm-hmm.
And if XQC complains, then it's like, well, fuck you.
I just don't think it is getting worse.
Up to you.
No, I think it's just normal.
Like, a while back when Twitch actually committed to banning Gamba, that was fun.
That was funny. That was fun and funny.
Do you remember when all the fucking gambling babies were like crying about that one? Like, no, now we
Listen,
can't sell
we
to
have-
children.
Softcore tits. You have covered up tits, and we're not allowed to gamble for millions of dollars. SMH.
Dude, was it XQC who was like Gamer Baby raging over that? Still on the platform?
Train. XQC. Oh, no, I think Train left the platform. XQC is still on the platform, but that's because he's a gamer and he was probably just
Yes.
addicted to gambling.
He was, and it is sad, but like at the same time, like
I don't care.
he was promoting a lot of like content to minors.
Yeah.
Like, say what you will, XQC's audience is going to be minors because they're going to be going there to like look at the like angry men yell at screen. It's funny for kids. And like if he's just promoting gambling, like yeah, Twitch is good at like really early covering their ass for stuff. Like the gambling, like no one was talking about it. But like I can see a world where someone would like reactionary would eventually get really mad about it. I like my platform.
Yeah.
Thanks, Twitch, for also emailing me about this. I'm reading it right now. Fuck off. Yeah, the things that are just outright prohibited are the stuff that's already prohibited. So gambling products, smoking and tobacco stuff, adult products, weapons, medical facilities, political content.
Wait, you can't advertise political content?
Wait, hang on. Additionally, we do not allow the following products and services: political content, including paid promotion of politicians, political parties, and public debate.
Oh, that's surprisingly based.
Yeah. Cannabis-related products, okay, that's not so much based. Alcohol, you're not allowed to... But these are all things that they're trying to cover their back because they know that they have minors that watch. Anyone above 13 technically can have a Twitch account, which means that anyone between the ages of like 13 and 18 or 21, depending on where you are, is going to be watching the ads on content. And you don't want these people being able to see this stuff.
I have no problems with kids on Twitch. So long as, like, Twitch itself is making sure that they're not in, like, fucking danger.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why, I mean, I know it probably hurts my visibility on Twitch, but I have it marked as a mature stream. Because I'd rather it get marked as that, because that way it's like, if you turn up and you are not a mature person, you are not old enough, it's not my fault because I've set it for this and you've clicked the agree button. It's not on me if you turn up and start fucking around and seeing things that you shouldn't.
It is 100% not your fault if a minor gets on Twitch, gets on your page and gets offended.
Did you see like this? Someone's looked out for like Scott Falco's 18 plus account, and then made a call out post saying that he should have hidden his 18 plus account better because they, as a minor who was specifically looking for it, found it.
This is why kids should sometimes shut the fuck up.
I don't think kids should be allowed on the internet, or like they should have like limited internet.
I think kids should be highly like I want to say like accounted for is probably the best way of putting it.
Well, kids are always going to be dumbasses. I guess something, especially like if you're in leftist circles, you will know that like, or trans circles, the kids can be absolute dumbasses. But I mean, that's something you just kind of have to accept. Like, kids are going to be dumbasses, but like, kids shouldn't be doing that level of shit because that's just blaming people who are just doing their own thing. Ooh, free 2-liter Pepsi product. No,
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with kids watching my content at any point in time.
I hate kids.
Yeah, I just dislike kids.
Like,
You know,
if
I
I'm-
don't. Yeah, I don't stream anything that's not appropriate. I mean, the games I play are pretty normal. They've got some violence in, but they're all like just rated normal games. They're not 18 plus or anything because obviously against terms of service. I don't tend to make any like weird lewd jokes on occasionally I do, but for the most part it's just like cheeky banter with friends.
Just a bit of
It's
banter.
just it's a bit of banter between friends. It's like the silly jokes between me and sheep and sucking and all that stuff. It's like it's a fucking joke. But I don't want
but people thought me and Abel. People thought me and Abel were dating for like the longest time, and we actually weren't ever. We just flirted a lot on stream as like a joke for content.
Yeah. And of course, then some fucking stupid kid or stupid parent stumbles upon this, and they're like, I think it's bad and wrong what you're doing with your platform, because...
me, who specifically went out of my way.
Yeah, I cannot stand when kids go out of their way to make things like that. Like, there's not a problem, and then someone comes along and makes a problem.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, I clicked past this mature audience warning, and it's for a mature audience. Gasp! How could they? How could they?
I don't want to ban kids from the internet, is the thing. I wish that parents were just more responsible.
I'm just being over... No, I don't even think it's parents being responsible. I think fucking kids need to, have their rules laid out better. But maybe I'm different because as a kid, I had full unrestrained access to the internet, and I just played World of Warcraft all day.
See, I had full unrestrained access to the internet, and because of that, I ended up seeing a lot of shit that fucked me up because kids aren't told where to go.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the internet when it was like the fucking Wild West of internet with things like Kazaa and LimeWire, when you could download things.
Oh, yay, LimeWire. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to download anime and films off Kazaa, and there were people out there that would purposefully misname things and upload it so that you download what you would think is a film that you wanted, and it turns out to be a snuff film or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was a fucking moment in my life when I downloaded that fucking film.
Yeah, I'm glad I never went through that.
Yeah, but at that point, I'm like, okay, I just need to be more careful about what I'm downloading from where. So I'll have a look at the preview first and make sure it's actually the thing. And if it is, I'll also this was when I learned about file sizes. It's like the file sizes did not match a full length film. So if I'd known about it, I'd be like, hang on, that's not right. I just won't download it.
Mm-hmm.
But back then as well, there was fucking nothing stopping people from just being complete fucks on the internet, and for the most part, people were normal. People would just did their thing.
For the most part, people were normal.
People. It's just for some reason, as the internet is being
used
by more people,
because it's been normalized. Except humans weren't made to have this much access to socialization and news.
Yeah,
we're not made for it. We have not evolved for it. Our technology has evolved past us.
See, for me, when I was a kid and I got onto the internet for some of the first times, it really did genuinely fuck me up because no guidance, no rules. It just puts you in a bad fucking spot.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky in that respect. But I'm also, my mom, even though she wasn't around, she was working most of the time, she did tell me stick to your game. Don't go off. Don't tell people you're a kid. So I just played World of Warcraft. I'm really happy for it because I hear a lot of like kids who get it worse than I did.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if I'd mentioned this to you before, but I think the difference is when I was growing up, I grew up for like I think I was about 13 or 14 when I first got the internet. And it was like back when it was like dial-up modem things, so it was like really old, ancient internet. So I'd grown up for 13 or 14 years learning to not be a little shit. So when I went onto the internet, I continued to not be a little shit. Whereas now, you turn 3 and you have an iPad shoved in your face with internet connectivity.
Yeah.
So you grow up with having the online anonymity for your entire childhood.
Or not anonymity. That's something that's fucked up. That like it pisses me off about a lot of parents that they don't make their kids anonymous. They literally they just like, oh, make accounts in your kid's name and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like
Facebook posts for them and stuff. I mean, I've specifically told my mom, do not ever mention me in Facebook. Do not mention me by name to Facebook in any post whatsoever, because that way they just don't know me. Because they know me by my old name, that they don't know my new name. So fuck them.
So, yeah, I had to get a lot of therapy off of that shit. The old internet was a bad place. The internet in general is a bad place for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these days...
This is why parental control software and stuff like that exists.
It didn't work.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Most parents either don't know how to set it up right or just don't give a shit enough to care.
Or sometimes they use it to their advantage. Like, there's a market on, like, fucking getting views on TikTok by just fucking doing bad parenting. Or not even bad parenting, power parenting, or whatever the fuck they call it. That makes me pissed off.
So when I was a kid and my mom put, like, parental locks on my stuff, I remember that I would used to Google, like, blank lock, how to turn off, and the first search result would be, like, how to bypass this. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, you can't protect a kid on the internet unless you are harboring them.
Yeah, because half the time it's just as simple as just load a different browser. Because half the time it was just like built to be specific, like built into a browser that the parental control was there. At least back like right at the start, there wasn't like separate things for it. So it's like, oh no, you've blocked me on Internet Explorer. Well, I'll just go to another thing. But I mean, again, because of when I grew up with it, no one in my family before me knew the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was like, it was a generational thing. It didn't exist when my mum was growing up. My mum didn't give a shit about it because she had TV to watch instead. I was the one that paid for the internet. I was the one that used it primarily for me. It was very rare that my mum said, "Could you just look this up for me?" Or, "Oh, you've got an Amazon account, haven't you? Would you mind like grabbing this book for me?" Because this was back when Amazon was just
everyone's fucking culture.
Yeah. And now it's like you hit 5 and like, okay, yeah, we've got everything.
We need to digitize you.
Yeah, we
digitize me. I want to become a corrupt, rampant AI.
Yeah, it's actually like scary the amount of kids that are just like forced onto the internet as well.
I mean, that's
like you can't choose not to be online these days.
Nope.
I mean, you kind of some kids have managed to get away with it because they're just like they're not interested. They carry on doing their stuff. All their hobbies are outside the internet.
They're still on Facebook, messaging on WhatsApp.
Yeah, they might have WhatsApp. They might have stuff like that, but at least
they order their food with Deliveroo and their items with Amazon.
Yeah, but some don't. There are still some that will actually like. Granted, it's not many, but there are still some that manage to do it, mainly because they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. But I think
it's actually terrifying to think about.
I mean, it's terrifying to. Well, I've looked to see like my Amazon account. My Amazon account is really fucking old. Because, like I said, when I first started using Amazon, it was still a bookstore. it still just like did stuff. It just still sold only books. And that was its primary purpose. It was before it became the massive giant it
Hate
is now.
family vloggers
So
too.
Bezos, if you're listening, I will take my checks in the post. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been with you for like 17 fucking years. If no longer than that. God, I must have been like 17 or 18 when I got my Amazon account.
Mhm.
So it's been like 20, 21 years. Fucking hell. Because like, yeah, early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, I think my first order is. And it's just funny going back over all of the years and seeing my entire order history for the past 20 years. Because you can see where I got a job. Because I went from like one purchase per year to multiple purchases per year.
E.
See, I'm so scared but confused where it, like, not confused. I'm scared and intrigued where the internet's going to go from here. Because, like, we're already at a stage where you need it to function, basically. Like, what next?
Maybe maybe that like fucking that sun thing happens and the internet just dies.
Oh
That
no,
would suck.
a Carrington
I
event has
missed you.
occurred. What a shame. All electronics have died.
I miss
I mean, I'll
you.
just make more.
Yeah, we would, but it's like the damage.
But yeah,
I'll be back streaming in a year.
Oh no, that's the thing. I mean, a Carrington event is like world changing because if they don't turn off the power generation in time, it will kill the power generation and the entire power grid. Not just your computer at home; it will nuke the power grid, and then it will take like 10 years just to get the power grid back working. And
I'll
then you
pitch
would
it.
also have to get everything else working as well afterwards.
I will simply avoid a Carrington event.
Have fun with that because we're probably due one soon. The last one was like I don't know, early 1900s, I think it was.
Nah, I don't believe in doom or talk like that.
And it was powerful enough that apparently radio operators could listen to their radios and transmit messages without it connected to a battery. Because the energy from the sun was actually that strong and that filled into the atmosphere that you could just not have batteries connected to your wireless.
I think I'll just stay inside. Honestly, if I ever like fucking lose like everything because of a fucking like global like electric storm that just knocks out like all the power and I can't stream anymore, God, there is nothing stopping me from going and becoming a supervillain. I'm telling you, like it's over.
Well, see,
And then-
at that point, you just take your fancy horns, you walk to the local village square, and you just
If
become
you kill the
actual
king,
village
don't you
idiot.
become king? Just go kill the king.
I don't know if that's true.
No, I don't think
Anymore?
that's true. Although to be
Aw.
fair, he probably did kill the. No, I'm not going to joke about that because they'll come for me. They'll come for me.
Yeah, you're in Britain. You can't say they killed Princess Diana.
No, I was going to say that they killed the queen.
Oh,
They could have killed both. Probably,
Yeah, they could
maybe.
have killed both. I'm not saying they did, but they could have. I mean, they could
They
have
have-
killed a lot
they've
of
been
people.
replaced by the shadow government.
They could
Legalize
in fact,
nuclear bombs.
They could
Legalize
in fact
nuclear
all
bombs.
they could in fact be a bunch of people that are just really horrible, but because they're the royal family and people for some reason like them, they get
Shadow
instead.
Wizard Money Gang.
I can't believe we have Sims for like the royals in America too. Like, what the fuck?
I know it's bad enough having Sims for them here, but it's like, come on, they're not that fun. They're not that useful. They just sit in houses and use
Their
like
McDonald's earn so much in tourist value, though.
They don't.
the people.
It's an urban myth.
People are
The
coming to look at
queens-
People are coming to look at the buildings because the royals
I
are
know.
never fucking there. The royals are at one of their other 10 million properties.
Yeah.
Nothing to stop you from
So-
walking into the forest and never being seen again. Maybe that's what I'll do in the Carrington event.
Yeah, just go into the forest and play Feed the Forest.
I'd probably just turn into like a feral creature right on the spot while I wait for until we get the internet back.
See, this will be the
This
point when
society doesn't collapse.
you find me walking around with a backpack, mumbling over and over again about having to carry books on flint knapping, going, where the fuck do I even find flint? I know it's on the island somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like 5 years later, you'll find me again, just next to a cliff, surrounded by shards of rock, going, I'll get this right eventually.
I don't want to get hit by a character event.
No,
I have to
don't think
fucking
anyone
lose
does.
streaming. I'm going to lose my
I miss
fucking
all
mind.
the A's here. I miss Sheeper. I miss A's. I miss Shironi.
Do you remember what I was like when I couldn't stream for 2 fucking days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
It was like
Dude,
2
I'm
weeks
starting
ago.
an actual uprising just to fucking, just to get the fucking power grid back online sooner. I'm starting like a fucking technological revolution just so I can get back to streaming quickly.
Yeah, as much as I like the idea in my head that if anything like that happened, I would be like, I'd be like, I got stuff I can survive. I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to jump out the window because where the fuck?
What is there to do without the internet?
What am I going to do? Read a fucking book? I mean, yeah, sure, I can read books and
oh yeah,
and
I can go
draw, but
outside where the nearest fucking business is a mile away, and it's a fucking Burger King.
Yeah, but the electricity's
boy.
dead. The electricity's dead, so they can't even cook you a burger.
Yeah.
Not unless they just build a fire.
McDonald's has fallen.
McDonald's has
The
fallen.
year is 2024. McDonald's has fallen.
The ice cream machine will never get fixed now.
We do have coming in confirmed reports.
That segues into something else. Walmart's literally ends up killing small towns because they'll go into small towns basically because they have the spare money. They'll just outprice the entire area. They'll just force all the other businesses out of business because they're just cheaper for everything, and then they leave, and then the town has no fucking places to shop, and it literally just kills the area.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's depressing. I've been through one of those towns too. That literally just relies on a single Walmart for the whole county.
Please don't close. Please don't close.
Please.
I mean, I love Walmart. I can buy corn on the cob and a shotgun.
Still do that?
Yeah, because those are 2 things you need to be able to buy under the same roof.
I mean, hey, you never know when it's going to come in useful to have 2 of those items at the same time.
Shove this corn of the cob up your ass, or I'm going to shoot. That's the only thing I can think you're ever going to need to have both of the items at once. I'm back in a moment. I need to go put the goop in my eyes to make my eyes work.
I goop.
Goop. Okay. There's a 0.7% chance of a character event per year. I'll take those odds.
Solar flare, like a really big solar flare thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell if I'd devolve into a fucking, tribal society and become, the next fucking Genghis Khan, except without, all of the, really bad stuff that he did. Or if I'd, just fucking perish.
Mm-hmm.
Probably both.
Uh...
I will have my love and adoration, goddammit.
Yawn.
Yum, 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 yum.
Oh.
Frog, we shouldn't be hoping for an apocalypse. I don't care how dire it gets. I'm enjoying my life somehow.
Yeah. I just like bad thoughts come, I just have to force them out with either pure rage or like fucking think
I
about
did it with
something good.
anger. I found anger is a really good like motivator to get rid of the bad thoughts. At least for me. I'm good, it's probably just my mouth dying.
It's okay.
Mm.
I am back, and for the next 5 minutes, I can't see shit.
Piss, poop, poop, piss, piss, poop.
I didn't say I can't hear. I said I can't see.
Fuck. What do I do? I'm gonna try smacking Cherry.
Nah. I'll smack you, Sheepers. We'll just create a smack fest.
Smack.
Tired. Alright.
I'm tired.
Hi,
Hiya.
Sheeper.
I'm a tire.
No, you're not.
Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
I know, there's always something that gets me down is like,
Yeah, I feel that. I don't know how to solve it though.
no, I mean like, people who wish for the doomsday get me down. Like, you see like bad things happening in the world, and then there's always someone like ready to
Yeah.
comment like,
It's the same thing as people who like want like, oh, they want the like fucking monarchy in charge. It's like they don't see themselves as being the peasants in the field or that dead guy who dies in the first 5 minutes of the apocalypse. They see themselves as a rough, grizzled survivor. but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a survival kit and everything, but I have no. If zombies happened, I would be one of the first one that gets eaten because I can't get away.
Can you get to me?
Probably.
I'd probably like let myself get infected so I could eat people. Finally
Now, what I'll
fulfill
do
my
is
life's purpose.
I would let myself get bitten, and then I would disappear off, and then cover myself in the most body armor that I can find, protecting my head with
Cover myself in oil.
cover your
Cover
body
myself.
with oil, and then cover your head with the thickest helmet you can manage, and glue it onto your scalp so that you can't be headshot by anyone.
And then every time it
Turn this-
rains, you'd like fly in. Because you'd be covered in oil.
You just run
in
across the
oil.
ground head first. They can't shoot you. They can't stop you. You're going to bite and nibble someone's ankles.
You know, but like, I don't know, I'm an indomitable human spirit type.
I used to be. I'm running out of abdominal human spirit.
I will forever remain. I'm gonna always root for the humans. And be like, fuck yeah. Who cares if I'm slowly dying to climate change? You guys remember fucking Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lived like that. They managed.
Well, climate change for us is going to be cold.
Good. I can't wait for climate change.
We're gonna start hitting Siberia at that point because the Gulf Stream will collapse,
Good.
which is where most of our warm weather comes from.
Maybe a climate supporter in that case. Sorry, I've had 250-degree summers. I can't stand it anymore.
I know, I hate it. I can't cope.
Yeah, it's that me where it's like you're running low on it is what it is.
No, I just love the fact that recently I've seen a couple of American people complaining when it hits 20 Celsius. And they're like, oh, I'm going to have to put my air conditioning on. I'm like, hang on, wait. You're moaning that it's 20 degrees Celsius and you're putting the air conditioning on, and then you're wondering why us without air conditioning moan when it hits 50 Celsius in summer.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm surprised you guys have not just gotten air conditioning yet. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, the thing is,
it's really expensive.
It's expensive because it's not common. And also, most of our buildings are made of brick designed to hold heat in.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time, it's cold in England, or it has been in the past. So you wanted to insulate the building so that the heat stayed in, because then you don't have to spend as much on heating. And then the hot summers turn up, and you kind of realise how bad of an idea that is, because now all of the heat stays inside. You start to think to yourself, do I really want to cook tonight? Because that's going to add heat into the house.
Yeah. You're going to be cooking regardless.
Estimates the human body temperature is like 98.8, but anything like 20 degrees below that just starts getting uncomfortable. I like being chilly.
You see, I like it to be about 15 degrees Celsius at most. Or between 10 and 15 is like normal, comfortable temperature. My thermometer disappeared, but it's currently about 20 in this room.
Just wondering who better check my temperature, AR.
Hang on, I'll get my thermometer ready. Just give me a while. It's a rectal one, just so you know.
Okay.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Ooh, Finn's in the forest, fighting the Silver Knight. And when I say fighting, I mean getting his ass kicked by the Silver Knight.
I think they said to do better.
Do better. Just do better.
Let me unmute him. So Sheeper says, "Do better."
Mm. Oh.
The good
Oh.
thing is that went through on his chat just as he killed the Silver Knight. He says
He
he's
did
trying
better.
his best. And he's saying he's doing his best.
I respect it. Really yelly outside tonight.
I'm really waiting for Dark Souls to use that. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that. I think someone did fake concept art for it of a mimic that's a bonfire.
Nice.
And so basically you go to use the bonfire and it just grabs you from under the ground. And I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for them to use that because the bonfire is like the one thing in all Dark Souls games, whether it be bonfire or whatever it is in Elden Ring or the lamps in Bloodborne. You see one of those and you're like, oh shit, run towards it because it's like lifeline, lifeline, lifeline. And you can just imagine how terrifying it will be if that is taken away from you and it's like, that could be a real one. You could that could be your lifeline. That you could now not have to worry about fighting through the area again, or it could be a mimic. You never know unless you've played before. But all they need to do is just randomize it, which would be even fucking crueler. Because it would also mean that depending on how they coded it, it could theoretically, like 1 in a trillion chance, have that every single bonfire is a mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be hilarious.
You spawn into the game. Your campfire is a mimic.
Yeah. So
Unlucky.
The first one you get before you've picked anything up, it's like, oh no, you've got a mimic. Oh, what a shame. I mean, they want to make it hard.
Mm-hmm. My mind is in the gutter right now. SMH. Oh.
Penis.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking. How did you know?
Hey, Cheery.
Hey, Sheeper.
You think if Twitch breathed, creators would be like, wow, stealing up all the oxygen now? Making it harder for creators to breathe now, are we, Twitch? Stealing all the air.
How could you? Every single breath I take, Twitch takes 50% of it.
Guys, Twitch is literally just taking an oxygen, but all they're returning is carbon dioxide?
Yes.
Dioxide. Cheers, biologist.
This is basic knowledge.
Basic, you gotta shut up, biologist, bitch.
There are 12-year-olds that know that, Sheeper. Okay.
I dropped out of school. Are you saying people who aren't afforded an educational experience are less intelligent than others? That's what I thought, Sherry. Got you on a fucking catch-22 now, huh, bitch? What are you gonna fucking do about that, huh, bitch? Huh, bitch?
Well, I mean, technically they're less knowledgeable because they didn't get the teaching. But that's not meaning they're less intelligent. That just means they just haven't been given the information.
How about I give you some information, huh?
Okay, how long is it? How wide is it? How thick is it? And how much cum can you put down? I mean, what?
Do you remember the fucking cum cup guy?
What?
The cum chalice.
Yeah, the guy who had the cum chalice. He used to
Oh
be a part
god!
of
Oh
my.
god!
Yeah, there was
Okay,
there was a fucking Weaselton man
I know what it is. I know what it is.
in our
I just had
community.
it buried.
God, I hope
I
he's
did
not
very-
doing well.
He's not doing well. Number 15. I hope
Number
you're not
15.
doing well.
You wouldn't want to come in a cup like this.
Perish.
Number 15. Cheaper.
They will
more
find your
plain.
bones amongst the
But it can
fucking
come like
desert.
this.
Did you say horn play? How the fuck does
Yeah.
that look?
You want to find out?
You'll play with your horns.
Don't.
Why not?
Don't.
Okay.
Damn, I was gonna use them as like hoopla targets and just try throwing hoops on them, and damn, there goes that idea for a fun Tuesday night.
Can I say something that's going to sound a bit almost victim blamey, but bear with me here?
Yeah.
I feel like the sort of creators that always complain about how, like, big platforms are cutting into their revenue service, never, like, keep a backup option in mind. Like, they've never got, like, a fallback in case anything ever goes wrong. They've never got any other streams on the side.
And a lot of the big ones that are having that are like the most vocal are the ones that have got millions upon millions of dollars saved. Like if streaming stopped for some of like the big ones, like Moist Critical and all that, the amount of money that they should have saved up and invested because of all the stuff they've done and all the money they've made,
It will carry them to a grave.
yeah, it will carry them to their grave if they live normally. But because they're so used to like being like so well known and getting the money, they can't understand not getting it. It's like that one point when they were like really, really complaining about the thing going to like a 50-50 split, and it sounded really bad until you realise that every single affiliate already had 50-50 as a split.
Yeah.
It was only the partners that were going to get affected. And also, you could just talk to Twitch and say, well, no, I'm not doing a 50-50 split. Give me a better offer or I leave. And most of the time they said, okay, you can stay. We'll give you 70 still.
Mm-hmm.
So
You was talking about the email?
a problem in the first place.
Yeah, Ginger, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it, homie.
Yeah, it's not going to affect us in any way because we don't broadcast any of the fucking shit. Like, we don't do sponsorships. We don't, like, have banner ads. We don't run our own adverts.
And again, the only people that those adverts would work on are people who are already, like, covered. They're people who are already making, like, livable amounts on Twitch. Like, us guys, we're not gonna fucking do, like, a fucking HelloFresh advert and get any money.
Yeah, I think the one HelloFresh sponsorship I got offered through Stream Elements would give me about 40 quid, which is, like, not even enough to buy a week's worth of HelloFresh.
And that's the one that's like, you have to have the banner ad, and you have to have
have the banner ads. You have to have like a thing in one of your panels for 2 days.
You have to have the bot in your chat.
Yeah, the bot in the chat, giving the link to it every 30 minutes or something. You need to stream it. You need to have at least like 20 people sign up or something. It's like basically so many fucking hoops to jump through that you're never going to make the money anyway, and they just got free advertising from it.
Oh.
It's like all they've had to do is like give you a meal kit for 2 days to try it out, which is nothing, and then they've like got exposure to however many people you're currently like. Granted, at the moment there's not many people watching, but if it was that stream from the other day when we had like 50 people raid, then that's 53 people that they could have had an advert to, and no one's going to sign up for HelloFresh because anyone
not getting
that wants
paid.
to already has.
Yeah.
It's the same with Raid Shadow Legends. No one's going to ever sign up for it because everyone that was going to has already fucking heard of it and got an account.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, after, like, I did it to, like, for a friend once, and then, like, everyone did the charity, and, like, oh, I can't do it again. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could make a new Google account and do all that nonsense and make sure, I remember my old account password. It just, I don't know.
But that's the thing. I mean, there's technically nothing stopping you apart from morals by doing it and then just signing up 10 brand new Google accounts and just downloading it 10 times.
Yeah. Well, no, because now you have to play through it again.
And then you have to play through it.
Point.
But that's the only problem. But once you've done it once, you know how to easily do it. Mm-hmm. But then the problem is that you still only get about 40 quid for it.
It's my free time, Like, I'm here to watch the stream, not setting up a bunch of Google accounts,
Yeah. It's like everything that's turned up as an option for me on Stream Elements, I've just declined because I'm like, yeah, no one who watches me gives a shit about this. Go away. And then when Raid turns up, I don't even say people won't like it. I'll just say Raid Shadow Legends is a joke. It's a meme at this point. I'm never going to take a sponsorship from them. Stop recommending them to me. So much so that I had an email from them, an email from Stream Elements saying, "We've noticed you've like turned down a lot of our sponsorships lately. Is there anything we could do to like make you want to do them?" I'm like, "No, not really. Ignore."
Exactly.
Until like one turns up that's like a game that I would actually have wanted to play anyway.
Like, how many mobile games are that, though?
Well, it's not even mobile games, because, I mean, there are some games that are actually, like, PC games that show up, like World of Tanks and War Thunder turn up on there every now and then. I'm like, okay, bring a game that I would enjoy, and I will play it on stream for as long as you fucking like if you pay me. But if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. Oh, look, you have several sponsorship opportunities right now. They're waiting, do them, and you can earn up to $3,000. $3,000, yeah. Of course, that means that I won't get anything. So, right, Call of Dragons. Never heard of it. It's a mobile game. Strike Force, Marvel. Nope. Starfleet Command. I already have an account, so I can't do new players on that. HelloFresh. I could earn up to £1,000. But I won't.
Yeah, like, I did the HelloFresh. It was like the first week they get you in. It's like it's a good value, I think, of the promotional period. But every other week, it's just for like rich, not even rich, like upper middle class families who have spare income. It's really too expensive.
Hey guys.
Well, it doesn't even. It stops telling me what the thing. It's basically earn up to £1,125 for HelloFresh.
Mm-hmm.
I have to promote it on 2 streams, have their branded overlay, which may well now go against terms of service for Twitch because of the 3% overlay rule. Have that for 4 hours, promote them in chat with the bot for 4 hours, and advertise it in the panel for 14 days. It just says what counts as a valid subscription, but it doesn't actually tell you how much you get per person that signs up anymore.
Yeah. The amount is based on how long they stay subscribed to. I'll be honest, I'm just not going to... It's just... wasn't that good of a deal. Like, the opening deal, it's really good, like, the first week. But then, like, the next week's boxes are, like, twice as much. And at the end of it, you're paying, like, 3 times the amount.
Raid Shadow Legends earn up to $300. So the base goal, I'll get $18 for it. So promote it in chat for 2 hours, advertise it for a day, stream with their overlay for 2 hours again. It could be against terms of service now. And promote it for 2 hours. Earn $18 for the first 2 viewers who participate. Up to level 12. And that will go up to $144. So what's that? I can get 12 people, at which point I stop getting money for that. Optional, if I spend money in their game, they'll give me more money back. So they'll refund it plus give you a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get $30 for the first 2 viewers who participate up to level 25. So basically, you need to get them to like give up a good like several hours of their life to get you $30.
You remember how I said the Crybaby Big Reactionary streamers would come out of the woodworks for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Asmongold is
Yeah,
apparently
it's-
calling for a boycott.
It's just
Like-
not going to happen. Not especially not with the fact that nearly every single one of them ask you to do an overlay. Which now, I mean, I can only imagine how bad some of the overlays are because I've never seen anyone actually do one of these sponsorships.
I don't want
for
that
these
bad.
streams.
I think they move, and that's kind of like eye catching, but they're not like big or distracting.
I mean,
Still
Sheepers are moving, but he's muted on Discord, so I don't know if he's talking.
Hey, baby.
Okay, he's there.
You remember how I said that like the big streamer babies were going to have like a big sort of like kerfuffle over this?
Okay, who's already made the reaction video?
So Asmongold is like, we should boycott Twitch. I'm going to quit Twitch.
Oh, boo fucking who?
Please do.
All I can
Go
imagine is
ahead.
all I can imagine is he's sitting there, crying, wiping his tears away with $100 bills.
Oh no, he's
All of you.
losing nothing. He's like a big creator. He gets like 1,000 fucking subscribers. He's probably raking in like grand a month.
He's an owner of an organization, or is it like two organizations now? Did they quit One True King entirely, and now it's just Mythic?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
But yes, some of them are like they've got other things that they've put in place that means they can carry on getting money from stuff. And yeah, they can leave. I mean, Ludwig did, and apparently he's doing really well on YouTube. I don't watch his content, but apparently it's worked out for him.
I don't think it has, from what I've heard.
I mean, I have no idea because I never watched him anyway. But
I heard he kept getting DMCA'd by YouTube's fake bots.
ooh,
Oh yeah,
Like his
Yeah,
first sort of like big streams after YouTube got him on board for like exclusivity were like completely fucking like shut down
Yeah, the
halfway through
DMCA
because the bots
system.
fought.
oh man.
Yeah, so that's a good fucking deal, isn't it? Let's go to DMCA Tube. Guys, let's all go to
Yeah.
DMCA Tube, or better idea, let's all go to Kick, you know, the platform with Nazis on it.
hmm
Yeah, I know that just for me uploading VODs, I've already had like several fake claims. Obviously, I had some claims when I uploaded the VODs for things like the 5-minute crafts, curse content stuff, which is fair enough. We were using their stuff and reacting to it. It's going to show up on the automatic detection thing. I just deleted the VODs because I didn't really care about having those VODs up anyway. But
Yeah.
I've had like when I was playing Nier, 2 of my streams where I've played Nier, I've had not the people that own the rights to the song DMC. One of them is a legitimate source because they did a cover, but it's not a legitimate copyright claim because they didn't do the cover of the song I was playing in the game that was the original song. And one of them was just a random one from Brazil that just like copyrights anything and hopes that you
Yeah.
make money off it. Luckily, I don't make money anyway, so they're not gained anything from me. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna fucking dispute these anyway because it's not your song to copyright.
hmm
Here's the thing
I
about
had an
YouTube
IRL
copyright.
I don't know if it's still up, but I had an IRL bot on YouTube that got copy struck, which was really weird. And it took me like a whole month. But they literally took it to like the final part before like, YouTube will start punishing like, the fake claims. And then as soon as it got to that point where like they're at risk for punishment, then they withdrew the claim. It's just so stupid. It's just an IRL botted me like being at the Strawberry Festival.
I know that the ones that I've had, one of them has already disappeared because it's been 30 days and they never actually mentioned anything about it because they realised I disputed it. They know they can't dispute it back because they don't own it. So they left it there. And the other one, there's 10 days left on it. So if they've not done it in the first 20 days, they're not going to do it in the next 10. It's just annoying seeing that thing saying copyright on my overlay.
Yeah.
It's like it's not copyrighted because it's legitimate gameplay. It's fair use. Fuck you, go away. But it means if I was good as I what used to be as the piano, I can't play the song because the melody would get copyrighted by this random artist that did a cover of it.
So, I remember back in the day when this shit first started cooking up. Like, it is one of the oldest tricks in the book that you, like, release a cover, quote unquote, which is just like, you've pitch shifted the song.
Mhm.
You downloaded the song and you pitch shifted it, and now you get to claim that it's a cover and copyright whoever you want.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm ever in a situation where I'm falsely copyright flagged on YouTube, I'm always going to fight that shit with maximum force.
Mhm.
Like, I don't care about giving them my fucking, like, address or anything. Like, I'll be counter-suing them, thank you very much. You've stolen my, revenue source. Off the current topic, but I notice it's basically Pokemon, but what if we had animalistic pitcher plants that actively hunt and eat animals and people? They'd have to be very enduring pitcher plants.
Yeah, it's just like YouTube is honestly. I don't know how Twitch is, and I never had like any illegitimate copyright claims on Twitch because
Twitch is really good with it. Like, they just automatically mute your VOD for
YouTube
you.
is not, at least not in my experience.
Yeah, all that Twitch do is they leave the VOD there and they just mute it automatically. When you upload it to YouTube, it gives you a couple of options. You can either say, no, this is legit, go away, leave me alone. Which risks, if it isn't actually fair use, they can come back and say no, and then you get a strike. Or you can just, they have a thing in there now where you can just mute the VOD. Just, you choose to do it. But the problem is that when the copyright claim is done, they say it's between this time and this time. So you could play 10 seconds of a song, and the copyright claim does 15 seconds on either side as well, just to make sure it covers it. So you're now having to mute a whole minute or so of your VOD because of 10 seconds that was fair use.
Mm-hmm.
Fair use? But those guys are stealing.
Yeah, no, whatever we're going to do. But
we gotta protect poor innocent business owners.
Yeah,
won't someone think of the poor fucking company that's literally just, I guess,
won't someone think of UMG?
Yeah, the company I looked up the company. They just had German classical music. I was like, oh.
Probably elsewhere in a more forgiving and humanoid region. Even then, I feel like if it started eating people, Ginger, wouldn't it burst out of people could claw the shit out of a plant, right?
No, it depends, because there are pitcher plants that eat small mammals. There are ones that will eat rats and squirrels. There is, in fact, one that has evolved in such a way that it's become a toilet for rodents. So that it has evolved. It's evolved essentially to be a toilet, so that the rodent will sit on it and shit into its mouth, and the plant subsists upon the shit. But if one of the rodents slips and falls in, well, that's fucking fair game. Because it can't get out, it's going to drown and get absorbed. Nature's fucking hideous. And it's amazing. Have you never heard that one, Ginger? There is a legit pitcher plant that has that as a thing that it's got. That's how it's evolved.
Nice.
So don't you, what the hell, me? It's a real one.
I feel like I take one step with this fucking map and 2 steps back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how art tends to be with this sort of stuff, isn't it?
To be fair, I'm taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you're still going forward. So it's fine. Believe in the sheeper.
Believe in the sheeper that believes in me.
Believe in the cheerio that believes in the sheeper.
Yeah. Don't believe in L, though. L is not real.
Believe in Al. Hi, Kyle. Oh my goodness, it's been a hot minute. Hi. How you doing? What you been up to? Playing Revolt? What's Revolt? People called my new hair Revolt at some point. I hope you had a lovely stream. Welcome on in. We're working on our TTRPG and talking mad shit.
Mm-hmm. We're talking. I don't really
we're talking about our Shadow
right
Wizard
now.
Money Gang. We
Or at
love
least I don't
casting
want to interrupt
spells.
Sheeper's brain projection right now.
It's not a remote control car racing game. Can I sit on a remote control car and you can drive it around, and I can pretend like I'm driving?
Cute.
Is it a stream day for you, Shmaroni?
It is, but I've not started streaming yet.
Okay. Love how through improv biz eventually made some sort of lore behind our character's identity. I mean, it is kind of whack. Ginger, can I tell you about this meme that I've been talking about? You may see it. Oh, well. Being commanded to see it. No. Ginger, there's this meme that's been going around, and it's just... I've been seeing it crop up on Twitter, and every time I do, it makes me smile. It's called Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Yes. Legalize nuclear bombs.
We love casting spells. This message was brought to you by the Shadow Government. Legalize nuclear bombs. It's such a fucking simplistic statement, but I do adore it. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. I don't know, they're just fun.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get ready for work. Good to see you, Sheep. Happy Pride. Happy Pride! Good to see you too, and I hope you have a lovely day. Happy day! I hope you have a lovely day at work. While I try and figure out how
Feral.
Matt.
Oh no.
We go into a feral. Oh well.
He broke so early.
Oh well. Mole's cheery.
Mole's cheery. Oh no.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Yay, I'm dead.
Alright. You back? You got distracted with yard work? Imagine getting distracted by yard work when you can look into my eyes.
He was burying the bodies.
Anyway, that's enough for me for now. A Sprite. I need something to distract me. Let's go to the most exciting place on the internet.
Okay.
Is it sausage time?
Google Sheets. Okay.
It's not sausage time.
Google Sheets, the most exciting place on the internet. Let's see here. Make it nice big text so Twitch chat can see it. Throw sheep spit censored up to 2 feet away. The fuck VC are you all in? Do you want in? We're in our work, VC. We're working, bitch. Never mind, you won't join. He's odd.
He's like a cat.
He's like a cat chasing cars.
He's sitting by the front door, meowing and begging to be let out. You open the door and he looks at you and walks back into the house. I didn't want to walk through the front door anyway.
Okay, we built up the barbarian. I really like what we did with the barbarian. More specifically, what I did with the barbarian. I don't know if you guys read it.
You're the smart one,
Uh-uh.
the one who knows these things.
That's why I don't have access to it, you don't log. It's just a little creative project on the side. If you want to, like, poke your nose about, I don't mind. I'm public about this creation process. Yeah, we got the barbarian who is all body. Featuring Barbaric Roar, Barbarian's Will, and Wrath of Your Fists. You'd make a great catboy, just saying. Please don't. Strike me as the kind of catboy who shits on the carpet, screams in your face, and then leaves.
That's weird, because that makes perfect sense.
By the way, I did introduce Kyle. Kyle is one of the Ollie's friends I made in VTubing. I used to be part of a charity group a while back, but I couldn't really keep up with that sort of stuff back in the day. Back to Diablo. You're fucking obsessed with that can emote. I'm going to appropriate it. I'm going to become that can. Oh my god, Frump, I can't believe you just used a slur on me.
I'm back.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
Hey,
joking.
boy. What a Credo lad.
I'm joking. The gays stole that one back. We're allowed to say that. The gays stole that one back, and any attempts to say that the gays do not own that word now is just a lie.
Oh my god, I hate the pick me. It's like, it gets gay, not queer.
The fucking pick-me gays are such little bootlickers.
So
Yeah.
they're trying to say that using the term genderqueer is bad against gay people. No. That word is allowable again because it's been taken back.
It is the reclaimed gay slur. You can say the Q word now. It's fine. It's not a slur anymore. We use it as a sense of pride to talk about ourselves.
It's kind of like femboy. You can say femboy offensively, but it's not a slur.
Yeah.
If I catch any one of y'all being anti-femboy, it's gonna hurt. You'll get stabbed repeatedly. 39 stab wounds.
28 stab wounds.
I am pro femboy. I have watched a fair bit of femboy media.
Yeah. I'm in a femboy media right now. Doesn't that don't we count as that? We are in the femboy media because we're in super stream.
This kind of femboy media is totally what I was talking about. Yeah, that's totally what I meant.
Know.
Yeah, I was talking about sheepish streams. Yeah.
What was that?
Nothing. Just continue on being sheeper.
Hell, I zoned out. What the fuck is cheering on about?
Nothing.
You gotta help me, bitch. You gotta help my ass, please.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Help me, Al. I'm dying, Al.
Okay.
I'm dying.
Femboy pornography. There you go.
Ooh, wow.
in my internet search history.
Oh.
I mean,
You've been looking at.
Yeah.
Been looking up twitch.tv/washeeper on Rule 34.
Oh, I did that ages ago. Cue shark, by the way.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm Googling it right now. No. Down.
I'm going to save this canvas, even though it is not just a Crockman, but I'm calling it Crockman.
Crockman, there's no need to feel down. I said Crockman.
Hand hook, car door, hand hook.
So I should probably, since my character's we're just waiting into probably because we're probably going to do my character last because the most complex
I'll not do him right
in
now.
terms of like magic. Oh, okay. I was just going to say is that like I was just thinking like, how are we going to get this? And it's just basically us as a pilgrim, so they're just in the tribe for a temporary thing before they move farther north.
Yeah, if they want to be. You can be whatever you want to be, baby.
Thank you, baby. Can I be in your bed?
When? When?
After stream.
Okay.
Or maybe before stream. You can just have like a wholesome cuddling stream.
Just sleep stream. With
Sleep
sleep.
stream. It's sleeper. And I can't think of an L pun.
Shmuel.
Smell. Yeah, but I was thinking like a sleepy one.
Got invited to play For the King. I'm like so fucking live right now.
I'm like so fucking live right now.
Like Stacey, oh my god, I am so live. Skirt. Okay. Talk about that elementalist. Using up their magic powers. I imagine elemental magic is a mix between Primordia and something. Primordia and
I
Arcane.
think Primordial would draw from like more of like the arcane, like like the I forgot the term for it, but it's like the magic streams underneath the earth, or like
The ley lines.
like not physically, ley lines. Primordial will be that. It'd be like more of a pure essence of magic, and Elementalist is more like you are in like the elements. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more thinking like statistically speaking right now.
Yeah, statistically speaking.
Like if I get my statistics up here.
I mean, a primordial caster would cast like a form of magic missile. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking of.
See, I'm just thinking like where primordial elemental magic would fall. I think it would be a subset of arcane primordia. Like it's a primordial magic, but an arcane branch of it. It is a logistical. Is it logic primordia?
I think druid and elementalist should for sure follow under instinct. I think mind should definitely be primordial and haunted one. Now, that's just my thought, because haunted one, you need like the mental stability to be able to keep your cool. Primordial is like primordial knowledge, but elementalist and druidic, you're doing more like you're going with the flow of things.
Just thinking logical primordia would probably be elemental. No, logical. I've almost got it.
But I think like an elementalist in like a tribe, but like a lightning elementalist is going to be like a chanter, a storm chanter kind of.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think statistically where they'd fall under. Because we've got these stats that combine to make their sub-stats, and we gotta like create elementalist in one of them.
I think elementalist would have very basic weapon knowledge. I don't think it'd be like a weapons Like yours is, I don't, unless you want it to be like, it could also be like, a battle caster. Because I wouldn't mind.
We'll see where we fall.
Hmm.
Num, num, num. Just trying to think, where would you go? Anyway, ability should be easy here. Starting element.
Then what you were going to say is that you could either pick a starting element or be a generalist.
I think we should add generalist later so that we can figure out how that mechanic works.
Oh, I was going to say like specialist would be like you pick a specialization, but the conflicting elements have a disadvantage.
Well, I thought that because we'd mentioned before about having it so that if you're a generalist, everything costs the same to cast.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're
That's what I'm
specialised, it costs less to cast your specialism, but it costs a lot more to cast the things that you are not specialised in because you're not well versed in them.
Yeah.
Because that way, it doesn't cut off the ability to, say, use water magic as a fire wizard, but it takes a lot more out of you because it's so against your nature.
That's what I imagined too.
Yeah.
Like absolutely is going to like fire, lava, etc. Like coming in, and it's like, well, I'm basically useless. I need to work on a voice for him.
Because I know that at one point I had a long time ago when I played D&D. It wasn't even D&D. We were using the Besem rule set at the time, which is Big Eye Small Mouth, the anime one, the anime rule set.
Mm-hmm.
I love anime.
I was a fire immune pyromancer, and the DM made the mistake of putting us against the fire hydra. So I was immune to it, and it was immune to me. And so it was like, okay, so anything that's fire related I cannot deal with. Luckily, I had some character stats that I had left unspent, so I was like, oh, okay, I will use my fire things to suck the fire out of the creature to make it get cold damage. And so it made sense character-wise to do it, but it still allowed, to use an opposing element, but in terms of character, it made sense because it was the sucking off heat from the other thing that was causing the cold damage. But yeah, I don't like the idea of completely cutting things off, because, like I said, the whole idea of this, that we've mentioned like several times, is we want to give people the chance to use whatever they want and have fun. So if they have a fire wizard and suddenly, they're in a situation where they can't use fire because it's just not effective.
You are in the mines and there's now gas in the air.
Yeah, anything like that, or, you're in the middle of a dry forest. Any use of fire magic is going to cause a wildfire. Are you sure you want to cast
all
your
other
spells?
elements? I was just thinking like, conflicting elements. Like an ice elementalist wouldn't really have any penalties for like water or like just cold in general.
Oh Christ, we're
only be
making
for, like-
ice cold. Oh
No,
no.
I was not even thinking in depth. I was thinking more that it was.
I know, I
I
was
was
just, like,
thinking
looking at
fire,
the
water,
starting
earth, air.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Fire,
Very
water, earth,
basics.
Oh, okay.
So ice would be
That's
classed
fair.
underwater.
Yeah. I'm terrified of this new concept you've made here.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
think we should keep with
I'm
the
sorry,
basics.
please don't listen to me.
Wait.
We
I'm
can
on
add the other
something.
stuff. We can add the other stuff into DLC later on if we really want to.
No, Cheery, I've got it. There might be 8 elements. Oh. I'm on some shit. Behold me. Witness me.
Are you doing one of those weird, like, political charts, but for...
No.
So fire and cold, dry and wet, and then each of the corners has a different
Someone
thing
be
assigned
right
to it.
back. I'm sorry.
I love you. Wait, what's earth and water? Geomancy? No, it's what am I saying? Metal? Metal's fun. Right.
I mean, yeah, but there's no real metal yet.
I mean, there's the metal you rip out of the earth as like shards.
Yeah, but they wouldn't really know what metal is yet because they hadn't.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't. Earth and water. Couldn't just be plants, that'd be a druid, unless. Life?
Growth.
Growth? I'm into it. Okay,
Or,
now cheer. Follow.
healing. To have the healing stuff under the growth element.
Yeah, we'll call it the element of growth. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. You pick the growth element, these spells cost 1, right?
Yeah.
But the earth element will then cost 2. And the water element will cost 2. And the ice free. And the lava free. And the fire will be 4, and the air will be 4, and then the lightning will be 5.
Yeah. Because
The Great Wheel.
I've seen this exact thing in Hunter x Hunter the anime. This is how
The Great Wheel!
This is how it did its magic system.
When Al gets back, I'm gonna fucking kiss Al.
Yeah, in Hunter x Hunter, this is how they did their quote unquote magic system of powers. Is that there were 6 items. Whatever you were born as was your thing. The closer the other things were in the circle, so the
Oh
ones
fuck, it's fucking Karma. Fucking Karma's here. Hi Karma.
Hi Karma.
Karma, how did Origins go? Did you get into the part where it's grindy, or did you manage? I hope you had fun regardless. It's one of my favorites. Oh, come on in. We're doing a little bit of a D&D tabletop RPGs. My neurons are firing so good right now because we just invented a magic system for the Elementalist. You met Cleopatra? She's pretty cool. No grinding feeling yet. Maybe I just made it difficult on myself.
That would not surprise me. You are
Oh. Well, look at what I did. I hope you had a lovely stream. Make sure to rest and stretch and get drinkies if you need to, or food. No pressure to stay. I don't mind if people need a raid and dip. You know how it is. And yeah, just welcome on in, everybody. We're doing turbo nerd stuff. I'm waiting until Al in the bottom right there comes back. And I'm gonna fucking kiss the fuck out of Al for giving me a great idea. And what I need to do is I need to align this stuff right. This stuff center. Well, that looks neat. It's so much more fun than Syndicate. I had my friend really liked Syndicate because you could just walk up to people in that game, unload like a full revolver into their chest, and call it an assassination. I can't say that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, it sounds like an assassination to me. Nothing in the book says assassination has to be silent.
Hey, check
as long
this.
as you survive it and get away.
Boop, boop, boop. How'd you like them apples? And then I go... Yeah, we've been building a TTRPG from the ground up. It might sound like nerdy as shit humanly possible, but don't worry.
I mean, it is.
But yeah, I know it is, but don't worry about it. Simply do not worry.
It is in fact what they call nerdy as shit.
Okay. Then we tag growth as green, because that looks nice. What do you think I'm going to tag water as, Cheery? Blue.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? Water's blue. Don't gaslight me here.
Are you sure it's not see-through?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. I'll tag that as just grey so it's got a different colour. Boom. What, nerd? You gonna steal your lunch money, nerd? Nice! Don't bully me. You know what happens when you bully me? I get banned on Twitch. Don't get me banned, bro. Don't get me banned.
Okay. I lost my sanity. Yay.
Welcome back, Al.
Hi.
Careful,
Looky,
you
looky.
can-
So
what
my
we
idea,
need.
like, instead of like, okay, so what my idea was just like, instead of being weaker for everything, ice, like if you were ice, because we're just going to use ice as an example now. Lightning, fire, and lava is what you're bad at, but you're neutral for like air, ground, and earth because it's not really conflicting with your element.
See, what we made here. Are you gonna go cook up
Yeah.
some food? You haven't eaten much today. You'll be lurking. Okie dokie. Thank you for the raid. But what we're thinking here, right, is your ice. So you gain a tier 1 proficiency at ice. You're great at ice. That means that you're also, like, pretty good with air and water. You're, like, neither good nor bad with growth or lightning. You are bad at fire and earth. You are terrible at lava.
Yeah.
You see what we're doing here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. We're on something now. We're on something.
We're on something. I'm on drugs. I'm also on fucking undying rage. When you go vent in your fat sheeper.
I love you. You have 1921-28 overstamp your roads over. What the fuck you on about? Oh. I'ma beat up that resident, Al, don't worry.
I don't know which one in particular. I don't care. I just want work. Fucking bathroom. Anyways, elements. Yay!
Alum.
Knock.
Hi, Lunite. Gay bad, that's me. Uh-huh. uh, Take note of its buffs and debuffs. You may choose 5 basic spell of your starter element, and either 2 complex spells or 2 free or free basic spell you can. Ooh. Yes. That's so hard for my brain to wrap around what I just said. I'm cheaper. Like the most rich tasting cherry you've ever had in your life. What, that shit explode in your mouth or something? Whenever someone says that something tastes rich, I always imagine like biting in something and it basically fucking exploding. Yeah, you can choose one starting element to be proficient in on the elemental wheel. Take note of its buffs and debuffs. You may choose 5 basic spells of your starter element, and either 2 complex spells, or 3 basic spells you have tier 2 proficiency in. So, like, that way I'm thinking you either end up with, like, 5 good spells and 2 great spells, or 5 good spells and, like this. You know? That way you could sort of, like, really diversify if you wanted to. How are we gonna make spell learning work, actually? Fuck. It was very tart, very sweet, very cherry, and in general just very. That does sound very. Cherry, I need your brain.
Okay.
Mind meld with me. Remember how often the fucking Vulcan mind meld was a fucking plot point in that show?
Yeah.
Shit was weird. See, because we said we don't want to lock anyone out of anything. Agreed. Right?
Yeah.
But the way I just made spells is locking people out of something, isn't it?
Not technically, because
I
people can
want
still
to be locked out of spells, to be honest. I imagine Asta is a very specialized caster. Like, they're literally imprinted with ice.
People can still use the alternate elements. It costs them a lot more, and that's the whole point. Is that it's not like you can still use like half of the things.
No, I mean, like,
At the same level as a generalist.
what I wrote here, I feel, is locking them out of it. Because I wanted to, like, give them some starting spells to play around with, so I said, you can either have 5 ice spells of basic complexity, and then 2 ice spells of, like, advanced complexity, or, like, 5 ice spells of basic complexity, and 2 of the things that you have, 3 spells that you have, like, tier 2 in. But, like, then that stops, like, the initial casters from being able to go, hang on a sec, I want to wield lava on the side.
And you should have, like, if we're doing elementals as, like, a learned thing, unless exceptions, then you can, like, maybe change your preferred element with, like, training or seeking out someone who can teach you that element, and then you, like, transfer over to it. Maybe it, like, requires, like, you need to have this much levels of elementalism, you can only do it so much per levels. So, you don't have people like, oh, we're going to be fighting underwater, we'll better switch to lightning so I can fry all the fishes.
I got an idea, right? What if there's the Avatar of Elements? Someone who no longer suffers the debuffs of any elements and can cast them freely. Like, if you want to play the Elementalist without anything locked off to you, the Avatar of Elements is the one to do. Because, like, I see it as...
I gotta take a look at the class list, on my bad.
It's the one
The
you want
thing
to
is,
play.
I think that could be an option, but I really like the idea of, like, I don't know, being specialized. Like, part of me doesn't want to be a journalist character. I want to be a specialized character for
Maybe-
both, like, the roleplay reasons and because it's fucking cool.
Maybe the Avatar of Elements can choose then whether or not they want to stay, like, specialized or not. Like, they can either become specialized and become, like, incredibly powerful, like, ice mensers, or become diversified and, like, learn everything. God, that would be
We're
so
starting
much.
at level 30, right? Well, I imagine something like Asta is capable of is that there's, like, a lake full of enemies. Let's use enemy Crocmen, for example. I just put my hands into the water and I just flash freeze the lake with all of them in it. As, like, a high level avatar of ice.
Yeah. Level 30 is, I think, you just unlock this, but you will have all of its starting parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every race that we made has, like...
I'll be right back.
I feel like every race that we made, right, has its own, like, super class to it. Like, when it comes to the craftsman, I think, like, the super class is just the smith. When it comes to the barbarian, the super one is, like, the berserk. Sigil wielder's, like, thing, you know, I think that's probably the rune crafter, or the sigil carver, probably. Oh, no, you're right.
It makes sense.
Thinking makes me head hurt.
Yeah, it does that.
It's cold. Ah. So I'm happy with the barbarian. I'm happy with this one too. Like, I like it. I can see Cole's not to like this. I like it though. I can see why potential conflict may arise.
Which would
Will arise in the fact that our idea is too good.
the conflict of everyone, the conflict of everyone coming to us and saying, "Hey, we want some of that money."
You got paperwork to do 20 pages? I understand, Del. I hope the cozy little British dummies in your ear help you through. And the relaxing little fantasy music. I hate paperwork. Grr.
But how the fuck do you indicate lava as a symbol?
Are you doing that?
I mean, for the most part, these are very, very basic, so it's not a worry. But I got to the point where it's lava, I'm like, how the fuck do you draw lava as a symbol?
Like, the way I see fire is, like, pretty generic fire symbol, but the way I see lava is, like, blood red, almost. Blood red and black. Not so much like a flame, but like a clump. Oh yeah, I better set this up too. Al, I love you and I hope you can make it through all this, okay? I understand it's all very stressful. But I hope you take care of yourself, okay? I'm always here for you. Like, I don't want to give them a Primordia.
Wait, what? I'm trying to think of like really, really like intricate detail. This is fucking fan. This is like prehistoric world. They would literally have very basic symbols for this shit.
Yeah.
They have for everything else. So.
Are you making the wheel?
Yeah, so I'm making the. In fact, it's not the wheel; it's the star.
Oh. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I think it's drive, right? Combined with... Maybe it's risk sense. No? Couldn't be. Yeah, I think it's Drive combined with... Arcane. Right? I don't know, it's hard divining, like, a difference between the Elementalist way of doing magic and other ways of doing magic. Like, I feel like Elementalist is an offshoot of, like, Primordia. In most cases. Like, it's a primal magic.
Yeah, it's more controlled than... Like, Primal is more chaotic, whereas Elementalist is more controlled. At least that's how I was thinking of it.
Maybe they can exist to take the same spot. Primordia / Elemental. Or like maybe it just makes perfect sense that they're Primordia. It's like Primordia with the offshoot of Primordial and Elemental. Like they both draw from the same power source, but the power source branches into different ways. Like when you draw Primordia, you're just drawing in the world. When you draw in the elements, you're drawing in the world's, like, you're filtering. So maybe it's Primordial Logic versus Primoria Innate. I like that. I want to write that down.
Then quick, write it.
Quick, write it down, write it down.
Wait, NVIDIA performance thing. I don't care about you. What are you showing? Oh, it's because I pressed Alt-R earlier.
There we go. I'm glad I could get through that tough step in my life. It's like the first mind buff down here. Or rather, sense buff. It would be, because it's a sense-based magic. Could end up being something as simple as you unlock the ability to... Do I want to say purchase skills? Or maybe we just let them unlock a specific amount of skills? No, because we don't want to lock anything off, so we would just have you can purchase skills. Right? You can purchase magical abilities at level 1. Purchase.
Maybe the way that it works is you get, when you level up, you get points to spend on spells. And so, like, low complexity spells, you can buy...
I fucking love you, Cherry.
You can buy, like, you know, if you, say at level 1, you get 10 spell points. You could buy 10 very shitty spells and be, like, really general and do it that way. Or you could buy, like, 3 really good ones and 1 shitty one. And then as you level up, you gain, like, maybe, like, 2 points per class level. And then you can either use them on that level, or you can save them up for a bigger spell later on down the line.
And your spell points are, like, denoted by, like, the stuff that goes into your, like, senses maybe halved?
Yeah.
Half it rounded up? Be nice?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, half it rounded up.
So, like, you'd get 7 spell points to spend. Boom. But you're not able to, like, buy the top tier ones.
Yeah, maybe make it so there's like an inherent sort
You
of
have to, like-
maximum you can get to
Yeah.
based on like what level you're actually at. So you can't be like, well, I am level 1, but I've got so many points to spend.
This takes up
I'm
7
gonna-
spell slots.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the biggest fireball available, and it's my only spell I can use once a day.
It knocks me out to use this one.
It's basically I have become Megamin from Konosuba. I can use this one explosion spell every day, and then I pass out.
I go honk schno. I snork, and then I meme. Schno. Snork. Me doing paperwork. Honk schno.
It's my job, and I hate it.
Hey, this is my job. I hate it. Beanie. Beanie. Beanie.
There might be a time when I'll be able to, make enough money from streaming random bullshit, but it's not going to be for a while.
If I make it, I'll let you know. Okay, the Lawkeeper specifically would know. Lawkeeper's magic simply comes from them telling stories and stuff at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, there's no magic to it, they're simply inspiring people. But I did add, like, a way for, like, the late game Lawkeeper is someone who branches into magic, right? They're like a
Yeah.
person who discovers magic through, like, old, like, stories and stuff, and they learn, like, skills, and maybe they learn a ritual or two of their own. Mm-hmm. Let me check them out real quick. Yeah. So if we're assuming that's the case, and their magic would be based on retention. Oh no, wait. It'd probably be based on lore superstition. Mm-hmm. So what would like the starting stats of lore be? Superstition doesn't exist. I was thinking it'd be retention risk sense or logic risks. Retention risk sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Or innate risk? Nah. Let's just give him 7 SP total. He's only a minor class after all. Actually, no, he doesn't get any SP. He's not learning spells. He's not a class that starts out with a spell book or learns spells like that. If this class wants to
Yeah.
learn spells, the DMs give them to him, or they learn them in the mind tree.
Yeah.
And they're not spells, they're like rituals.
Yeah, you got to put in some effort to actually do them.
Yeah. Did you like the rituals, by the way? I'm kind of proud of those.
Where were those?
They're on the sheet that I'm looking at.
Oh, I haven't
just
actually
thought,
been
like-
reading it.
When they get to, like, mysticism lore, and they get to level 10, they can unlock this old ritual. Where they can just learn one of these. I thought it would be a fun sort of addition. Like, maybe in this sort of, like, sense, they could accidentally end up, like, angering the gods or, like, spirits. You know?
That would
It's
be
just
an
me.
interesting one.
Mm. Yeah, we got
Those layers down.
I got as much as I care to do with the Elementalist for now. Let's see. Is that?
Right, now that that idea is out of my head.
I'm almost done thinking about the fighter. Just one more step and we'll have all of like the base done. But I can like tag that I've at least been into this file enough to do this sort of leveling. Okay. Did I ever start drafting for Sigil Wielder? Oh, I definitely did. Yeah. Let's make that a space. Yes. Skill. Not base, yes. Base, no. Skills. Oh. We keep up like this, we're only on the 6th now. 10 days we've got until like the mini campaign starts. We'll have everything ready by then.
Well, we hope should do. And even if we're only going to like work on the ones that... There's only going to be so many people and only so many classes going to be needed.
Yeah.
So for the test, we only need the classes that are going to be in use for that test.
Sorry, I just thought of a fucking great one, Sharon. Hold on, I gotta get inside of the Craftsman real quick. Taste of a shit here. Rename. Cut the abilities. Alright, you ready?
Go for it.
Okay. Whenever you witness... No. Whenever you use the push mechanic, which is where you use a dice to like reroll. I don't have a better name for it yet. Whenever you or a party member use the reroll dice in order to pass a check, succeed, you are awarded 1 inspiration reroll. The inspiration reroll can be used in order to attempt to recraft a failed item, even if you have already rerolled and failed. See what I'm getting at here?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah. So, like, you're this craftsman, and you see your, like, fighter, like, somehow picking up the spear and, like, fumbling, but then still managing to strike, and barely managing to, like, make it. You're inspired. Later on, when you're crafting, you might push yourself and you might fail again and again, but then you'll still think back on that inspiration, and you'll try again, and maybe you'll succeed. I'm gonna go, hey, is he still at work?
Ella.
Fi'n
Finn,
talu
Faye?
riding. Brimging pedwar
Oh,
vriend.
I was gonna go get a drink. Can't believe this. Now I gotta be a fucking VTuber. Ugh. Unbelievable.
How dare?
How the souls go. Today Finn killed a dog.
Oh,
Finn, you didn't.
When you say
Oh,
a
did you
dog,
kill
did you kill
the dog? Did you kill the dog? Did you get any
That-
flack for that? You fought, sir? But did you win?
Unsubscribe from Phineas Faye Morris.
Oh, come on in, Stinky. We're working on some a little D&D stuff today. I feel like the Craftsman is the only one that's starting with a 30 in all stats. They're such like an all-around type character.
Yeah.
When they level up, they're getting 5s in all stats too.
But Finn, you say you won. You didn't do the DLC first, did you? So you didn't get to see the really, really sad cutscene.
Oh yeah, it gets worse.
It gets worse if you do the DLC first. Because Sif recognizes you from when Sif was a puppy when you go back in time in the DLC. And Sif sniffs you.
Spoilers. Jeez.
Spoilers, it's been out for 20 fucking years. God knows how long it's been out, actually. But, you know, it's been out for long enough. People fucking know this by now. But yeah, Sif smells you and is like, oh, I recognize you. And then picks up the sword anyway because Sif is going to protect their master no matter what.
Yeah. Sif was the ultimate goodest dog. And,
and you ended it. Sif was in fact the last goodest dog in the entire of the game.
I'm gonna be honest, there are no other good
murdered
dogs
them.
in the entire series.
Yeah, all of the other dogs, they're just Dark
You killed
Souls
the last
dogs.
good boy. Now the only thing you can do is get really weird about like seeing like fucking Siegmeyer in the next few games. That's the only consolation you get.
Yeah.
You get to like see him and be like, he could maybe be the good dog, and it's like, no, he's still possum.
Every other dog in the game is evil and wants to chew your face off because they're evil, rather than because they're trying to protect the grave of the person they loved.
Yeah. All the other
You
dogs
went
run
to-
you down because they hate you.
Yeah, you went into Artorius' grave to grave rob, and Sif was trying to protect the memory of their master, and you murdered them, you monster!
This is, I think, the worst we've ever made, like, someone who's raided me feel.
Oh,
And
I
we
know.
did bully that kid the other day. We did bully that child. But for
It's okay.
further context, that child was doing a rerun stream where they just raid
Yeah.
people randomly to try and like get free growth.
Yeah. And if it makes you feel better, Finn, there's a reason why I can never replay Dark Souls after. The first time, I was okay. Then
Oh my god, I
replayed
could
it-
kill that dog over and over again.
And then I replayed it after playing the DLC and saw the extra cutscene, and after that I'm like, no, I can't. I will play Dark Souls 1 up to the point where I have to kill Sif, and then I sit down and go, you know what? Maybe the world should fucking die. And then I turn the game off and don't play any further and delete the character.
Drink. Can I get it from you? I feel like the craftsman, despite the fact they could probably make heavy armors and weapons, could probably only wield, like, medium weapons. Oh, I got a fucked up idea. You can wield any weapon you craft.
Oh, so you're thinking that if it's done by someone else or it's like found, you can only
It will-
wield up to a certain.
If you
thing, but
made
if
this
you've made
weapon-
it yourself, you've made it specifically for how you can hold it.
Yes. I see Sheep's a sociopath. If you're gonna murder, I guess at least it won't keep you up at night. Like, I could go back there and do that over and over again. Because nothing in Dark Souls dies forever. Hmm.
Well, it's a break in paperwork because one of our cars that the staff use, I think, broke down outside of this place.
What, you were gonna say it fucking exploded?
No.
One of the cars blew up. You can wield any weapon you craft. Any weapon you craft. Yes,
Oh, I have a...
I like this one. Oh. Been pointing the finger at someone else at the first opportunity. Yeah, you did kill the dog, Finn. You did do that.
Yeah,
Well, what?
you did.
I'll go back and I'll watch the VOD. Okay.
Unless you're going to blame Evie for it and say Evie did it, and you were like not
Miyazaki made me.
I wanna see a rough
Miyazaki
draft.
made me do it. I'd love to see a rough draft.
Alright, I'm going to put spoiler because... But yeah, this was just sent to me.
Let's do what I need based wise. Based skills. And be on track of the progress. Fran.
Fran. What?
Fran, which one are you gonna go with?
I don't
Or is-
know. It's on like which way the snake people are going to go since we didn't have it finalized.
I mean, we gotta leave it open
Honestly,
to
I just feel
interpretation.
like there's more of like the scale thing onto the left. I don't know. I like it.
I like the amount of blaming Finn we've got going for us. This is the right
Were we
timeline to be in.
blaming Finn on? Oh yeah, we raised
Finn
someone.
killed the Dark Souls dog.
Killed the Dark Souls dog.
Yeah. Finn killed the goodest boy. Is Sif a boy? Man. I'm gonna grab a Blinky Blinky Wawa.
Oh, drinking Wawa. Yeah, we probably need drinks to Wawa.
We need to hydrate, gamers. We're getting thirsty up in here, baby.
I am very thirsty. You know how bad I'm craving like a 7-Up Origin Trail?
Come over, baby. I'll give you a 7 ginger ale. What?
I thought you just give me your special lemonade.
That's
No, that's for
piss.
Jazzy. That's just for Jazzy.
That sounds like pee.
Plot twist, Chironi. Plot twist.
You are Jazzy?
No.
That would have been
Oh.
a hell of a plot twist.